Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to your very own BYJU'S 9th and 10th grade channel. I'm your teacher Aishwarya.
And I'm your teacher Ankita everyone, and we welcome you all in today's very special class where we will be solving the CBSE official paper for social science.
Yes, and today of course we are going to not just be solving the paper, but we will be giving you a detailed analysis of the paper, what is the ideal approach to it, and of course is the paper exactly as prescribed in the social science curriculum.
Yes.
So there are going to be a lot of insights that you will get. And I think one of the many advantages of solving a sample paper also gives you an idea of how to strategize your preparation as well. So it's not just about getting a feel of how your board exam is going to be like, but you will get an idea of what kind of questions will come, right ma'am?
Yes. So this particular sample paper will give you an idea that, as ma'am said, what type of questions will be coming, how the questions are being framed. See, we know, we have studied the concept, and of course we can have the direct question. But as you all know that CBSE have clearly stated that this year, last year onwards, right, they have more than 50% or precisely 50% of the questions were based upon the competency. They are interesting questions that are kind of twisted questions that we have. So we need to look for those because the syllabus is easy, ma'am, right?
Yes. And many of you might be, see, at whatever point you are watching this class, right? Whether you are watching it much after the live stream, or maybe you are watching it after finishing your syllabus, midway through your syllabus, at any point, whenever you watch this video, our intent is not just to tell you that, hey, this is the question, this is the answer, but we will be analyzing in a way where we will also help you strategize your study sessions also, right? So that is something that we need to keep in mind, because many of you are saying, ma'am, we've not completed the syllabus. I know, right? But today, with today's class, we'll not just be helping you with that, but we'll also be helping you how you can study the remaining chapters, what should be our point of focus, right ma'am?
Yes, that will be really very important for all of us to understand, right? Because, see, if this sample paper was out there, you don't actually need us, right? You can actually solve it by yourself. But why we are here? So that this whole process becomes really very smooth. We can analyze the things, and then we can think that what are the important points that you should consider while preparing your examination, and of course when you are there in the examination hall.
And many of you, right, I have your pre-boards coming up, and they're going to be 1, 2, 3 pre-boards. And the best way to start prepping for these pre-boards is to attempt, right? Attempt the sample papers. So as a matter of fact, we are kick-starting our sample paper series with today, that is 16th of November, where we are doing social sciences. Of course, sorry. Of course, on Saturday, ma'am, we have maths, right?
Yes, and then of course on 20th, everyone, that is the Monday, we have the science, right? And of course, again, so maths mein, it's a lengthy one. So yeah, we have 2 parts of it, and we have
the basic paper.
Yeah. And of course, we have 27th May, the English.
So today we will try to wind up our class as soon as possible, but it is going to take up to 2.5 hours, ma'am, considering the number of questions that we have.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will be extending our class, but we'll try not to make it too long that it becomes difficult. So stay with us till the very end, and trust me, this class is going to be helpful. So, yes, of course, we will teach the remaining chapters. Don't worry about it at all. Saturday will be math standard paper. On 25th, which is the consecutive Saturday, will be your basic paper.
So this is the
standard paper.
Standard paper, and this will be the basic paper.
Yes. Okay. So now, of course, very quickly, before we get into the paper, how many of you have actually seen the sample papers? Be very honest with us. How many of you have seen the sample papers and you've got an idea of what the questions look like? Forget if you've solved it or no. Have you all seen your sample papers? Or have you decided that we will wait for maybe one day before board exam to maybe have a look?
Okay. Many of you are saying that you have seen the question paper. Very good.
Now, how many of you have solved it? There are 2 things. One is seeing, next is solving. Oh, ma'am, I solved 2. Oh, nice.
Nice. So we have practice papers also. So we hope that you have seen that. We will be solving those also in the upcoming weeks.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
No problem. If you have not solved it, you solve it with us, right? So today, use this time wisely in order to solve it with us, so that side by side you can be ready. Now, ma'am, as per CBSE subject-wise weightage, right? It is said that we have 4 books, of course, based on which it is going to be 25, 25, 25%. Now, ma'am, does this always happen that it's going to be equally distributed at all times?
So we have seen that in the past, and of course it's not the equal distribution, even though in the syllabus it's mentioned that every subject, history, geography, pol science and economics, will have 20 marks. But we have seen a trend that here and there 1 or 2 marks difference will be there. It could be that in one paper you will find history probably will have 21 marks, geography probably will have 1 or 2 marks lesser. So once you're studying, right, don't think that 20 marks will be coming from this. Here and there marks difference will be here. So you can see over here also.
So what you see right here is the paper breakdown, right? So these are the number of questions that have come from. So we've broken down the paper and we're showing it to you in the beginning. Sorry, ma'am. So history, political science, geography and economics. End mein, if you see, there's a slight discrepancy between your economics and civics where 1-2 marks ka difference is happening, but they have tried to keep the distribution equal.
Yeah.
And in every section you will not get questions, 1 from history, 1 from economics or 1 from pol science. You look at your section A itself, look at how different it is. You have 9 questions coming from pol science, ma'am.
Yeah.
And just
so much.
3 from geography. So you have this kind of, what do you say, you will see that the distribution of questions might be different, but they try to maintain the percentage, right, ma'am?
Yeah. So everyone, this is important for all of us to understand that it's okay to have the difference in the different subjects altogether. We know that, okay, it will not be the same, and based upon that, we'll be able to take a good call.
And this is a very, very important, image to have, right, ma'am?
Everyone take a screenshot, right? And of course, this is the syllabus that we have, so we'll just move aside. Take a screenshot, everyone, so that you can later read it again and examine it. What we have over here is the different types, the patterns that we have in the question itself. So if you look over here, we have 3. We have 1, 2, and 3. So the first part, right, the first set of questions that can be asked in the examination are purely based upon remembering and understanding. These are the questions, ma'am, which are very direct, right?
Yeah. So this is just based on your, so like very simple words, you need to recall. A little bit of memory-based questions are going to be there.
You can write recall over here.
Yeah. So these are going to be recall questions and 30% of your paper is going to be direct questions, right? So some easy-peasy questions are definitely going to be there. Then you have applying. That means that you know your knowledge, you just need to apply it. So normally, ma'am, in political science, in economics, normally even in geography, you can get such questions where you need to apply. Maybe a situation is given to you and you need to apply. Then, ma'am, is 50% of our paper, right?
Yes, that's the competency, everyone. We have formulating, and of course in that we have, in formulating we have analyzing, evaluating, creating. So I'm sure you would have seen the questions like analyze the question, evaluate the situation and then answer the question. So all of these are purely the competency based questions, and they're asking you to read something, study something, and then based upon the knowledge that you have gathered, then you have to analyze and write the answer.
Yes. So this is something that you need to keep in mind, and 5 marks of course is going to be map skills. So
easy peasy, that is
easy peasy, right? So we'll get started, everybody. We don't want to take too much of your time in explaining this, but this is an understanding that you need to do. Whenever you are doing whichever paper it is, always look at the curriculum first. It will help you. Gurlal, we will be providing you the PDF. Do not worry. Our team is trying to find a more streamlined process. So we're going to make sure that the PDFs are going to be there in a place where you can at all times access it, right? Gagan, today is SST sample paper, so it is an SST class. And ma'am, over to you, right? So we'll get started with the solving.
Yes, everyone. So here, let's quickly start with this part where we are looking at the general instructions, basically the instructions that we have in the beginning of the question paper, right? So you will have 3 hours time and you will be writing the total of 80 marks paper. We will have 6 different sections, right? 6 sections we have, and total of 37 questions we'll have in the question paper. In section A, where you will have 20 questions, 1 marks each. These are the MCQs. Then we have section B, which will be having 2 marks question, and we have 4 of that, right? 4 questions over here. Then we have section C, which have 3 marks question, and over here in 3 marks question, usually we usually get the applying, application based question or the competency based questions more. Then we have section D, which have 4 major important questions for 5 marks each. This is very, very important. And I think section D is the most scoring section per se. Yes, and then the last, not the last section, which is the section E, where we have the case-based study question. These are for 4 marks. And the last main, the section F, which is there, that is purely based upon the map. So in map also, everyone, we have total of 5 marks. 2 labelings will be there from the history and 3 from the geography. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, Abhishek will discuss about that also. Everyone, are we clear? There is no overall choice in the question that we have. We can skip the question number out of these 37. But internal choices are provided, right? And we will easily can choose the question that we have the or written. Good evening everyone. Yes, we'll have that. We will have that, Rupinder. We'll definitely have it. And of course a note, right? We will have 50% of the weightage. For which type of questions? We will have the questions from the competency based. So this is very easy. Chaliye, everyone, are you ready? Are you ready? Ma'am, which additional sample paper is this? So this is the first official sample paper, right? This is the first official sample paper and we will be moving ahead. Yes, everyone, are we ready? Give me a quick thumbs up in the chat, everyone. Please make sure you hit the like button for the video. And please make sure you share this video with your friends. We are starting with the MCQs, that is the section A, everyone. I want all of you to answer in the comment section below. We will be running a poll also. So give us some time. Yes, give us some time and we will be starting with it. Okay, yes, ready, right? How many likes we have? Please make sure you hit the like button for the video. It's your way of showing love to us. Okay, chaliye. First question is from the history, everyone. Here we have to identify the correct option that describe the act which was given below. Right over here. We have the act, everyone. They have mentioned some of the important points about this particular act and we have to identify the act. Easy peasy question. The act was passed by the Imperial Legislative Council. Very easy question, I would say now. It gave the power to the government to repress political activities. And the last hint that we have over here is that it empowered the government to detain political prisoner without trial. So the major hint that we have over here is the detaining of the political prisoner without the trial. So people, the British government, can actually come and if they feel that this person is involved in any of the political activities, they can take that person into the jail without the trial or without the legal procedure. So this act is which act, everyone? Very good. I'm sure all of you are voting also. Yes, easy peasy, right? Let me also vote. Yes, I can see 99% of you have voted. Only but 83 of you have voted. Everyone quickly. We'll end the poll now in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah, I think we can end the polls. Okay, chaliye. So everyone, the correct answer over here is option number A, the Rowlatt's Act, right? This is a very important question that we have from the chapter Nationalism in India, right? This is very crucial. Yes, very good. So I hope that you got this question. Chaliye. Now we are moving to the question number 2 and the question number 2 is from geography. So we'll be calling Aishwarya ma'am now. I think that's geography.
Okay. So everybody, let's go on to question number 2, which place in India has an artificial lake to conserve water that dates way back to the 11th century? Is it A, Delhi, Bhopal, Mumbai or Kolhapur? Good evening. Yes, I can see the answers. Now this right here is a small bit which is mentioned in a small grey box in your chapter water resources, right, where they have spoken about the hydraulic structures that were present in ancient India. So everybody, please make sure that you star mark it. Yes, very good, Sanjana, Cosmotalk, Ujjwal, Team 7 guy, very good. Yes. Most of you have got the answers and you have voted. Now, in case if you didn't know the answer to this, make it a point that you have your textbooks open and you star mark this, because now you know that that particular small grey box is also important. And well done all of you. The correct answer is option B, which is Bhopal. So we can end the poll right now. Yes, very good, Soumya. Very good. Very good. Quickly, let's move on to question number 3, right? Now this right here looks like a complicated question, but it's from economics and it's easy. So we have data given to us, right, wherein they have some information about the educational achievement of the rural population of Uttar Pradesh. Now, what are the categories given? Literacy rate of for rural population, literacy rate for rural children in age group between 10 to 14 years, then percentage of rural children who are aged between 10 to 14 who are attending school. Now the percentages are given to you. Now what should you do? You should identify data given above who has least percentage of literacy in rural population. Now read it carefully. Now I know every sentence, yes Aditya, you're right, every sentence in SST is important. But this requires little bit of logic only, right? Very easy. Very good Neha, very good. Yes, very good Akshay. Yes, very, very good, right? This also has some data to or some information. Yes, even with respect to your gender, religion and caste, you know, some of the topics, if you think about it, are all interrelated. Especially with economics and geography, I always tell you, know, there are 1, 2, which is always here and there and it is interrelated. Now, since we're talking about rural population, right, that means you need to only look at this table, which means in this case, right, what do you see? You don't need to consider these two because that's for children. Now they've asked for overall rural population. And based on that, what do you see? The least percentage of literacy rate is nothing but we observe in females. So the correct answer here is option number D. Very, very good. Okay. Ma'am, are definitions important? They'll not directly ask you any definition. But you need to have an understanding of how to apply that. They'll not ask you to define literacy rate. They'll barely ask you such questions. Yes. I'm doing much better. As you can see, my voice is back. So I'm very happy about that. Okay. Question number 4, all of you. Question number 4. Which of the following options represent potential measures that can be taken to mitigate the threats posed on the tiger population and biodiversity? Now, if you've been very regular in my classes, you know that this is a very frequently asked question. I mean, I keep taking this question and I constantly ask you this, right? Consumer right, say nahi. Consumer right is only for project work. They will not ask you in board exam. So don't worry about that. See, if you've been regular, you know the answer to this. Banning hunting, giving legal protection to their habitat and restricting trade, prohibiting the visit of public into the forest area, establishing wildlife sanctuary and national park, converting forest into reserved and protected forest. Now, students who are regular, you know that this is a question I constantly make you do because this is a perfect example of application. So here we will apply our knowledge of conservation strategies, right? And you need to apply it here. Now, what are they asking? They're asking what are the potential measures. So what can you potentially do to mitigate or to tackle the threats that are posed on tiger population and its biodiversity, right? No problem, Linda, but you be regular from now on. It will definitely help you. Okay? Okay. So we have to figure out the potential measures and threats posed on tiger population. Sorry about that. So what can we do? We can ban hunting, and provide legal protection because first and foremost, the tiger population diminished or it came down because of excessive poaching that happened, right? So in this case, this is a potential measure. Making sure that areas are made protected. That means that either converting forests into reserved and protected areas is something we can do. Wildlife sanctuaries and national parks, right? Making them protected such that nobody can harm them. But here, making sure that people don't enter into forest area or no, right? See, public visiting a forest area is not something that's going to help you tackle how there is declining population in tigers, right? If they enter, they don't enter, that is different. Now, don't confuse public with, ma'am, that public could be one hunter also, how do you know? That is where you will overcomplicate it. Now, think of it as normally, right? So, in this case, prohibiting the visit of public into forest is not a measure per se that will, be taken to sort of tackle the threat on the population, which is why 1, 3 and 4 are correct statements. So the correct answer here is option D. Are you all clear? Yes, just an ordinary person. Okay. Now many of you, ma'am, B and D options are equal. Nahi, it's saying you need to figure out what are the correct statements. So this is not something you will consider, right? Water resources. Now before I hand over the next question to Ankita ma'am, let me tell you all, many of you have this confusion if water resources is deleted or no. Students, water resources is very, very important. Please don't ignore, a lot of map work also comes, right? Okay. Ma'am, question is different in sample paper. Now, again, don't get confused with sample and practice paper. There is an official sample paper. There are additional practice papers. So this is sample paper. Okay? Okay. So moving on, let's go on to question number 5 where I'll call on Ankita ma'am.
Yes, everyone. So let's take a look. The question looks very easy. I don't know when me and ma'am were discussing about the sample paper, we're like, yeah, easy questions are there from history and from pol science. So everyone, here we have the very interesting question, and this again is a clear example of direct question. We spoke about the remembering and understanding, right? This is a clear example of that. It's a very direct question. The question is, when many countries of Europe came together to form the Europe Union, Dash was chosen as its headquarter. It's a very straightforward question. Yes, everyone, what could be the correct answer for this? We have options like Brussels, Paris, London, or Zurich. Okay, Cosmotalk, Abhishek, Titanic, Neha, Ambition, Charu, Neha, Sanjana, Driving, Team 7 Guy, Ujjwal, Sakshi, Sanjana. Very good, everyone, very good. Shraddha, Ashwini, Lavanya. Lavanya, I think you were asking, bache ke ma'am, do we have age of industrialization in the syllabus? So age of industrialization chapter is not there in the board examination. In the final board examination, the CBSE will not ask you from that particular chapter. But in your internal examination, be it your unit test examination or in the pre-boards, if your teacher feel, they can ask you the question from that particular chapter. Okay, chaliye. So I think we have a good amount of votes, right? And we can end the poll, ma'am, now. And yeah, we have the correct answer. Everyone, the correct answer over here is option number A. Ta-da! Easy peasy, right? Okay, Aditya, noted that point. Yes, Sakshi. Okay, everyone. Awesome, awesome. So this question was really very easy. Moving to the next question. Yeah, here we have a question from the pol science. Now we'll be able to see the number of questions from the pol science more. Okay, chaliye. Which of the following statement accurately distinguish between majoritism and the power sharing? I feel that I've asked this question in some of the session. I feel that. I have a very strong feeling. So we are talking about two important concepts. Now again, in this particular question, if you take a look, right, over here we have to analyze, we have to basically evaluate the statement that are there in the options. We know about two important terms that we have over here. We know what is power sharing and we know what is the majoritism, right? We know that in the majoritism, we know that what will happen? Yes. What will happen over there? As the word is there, majority. The people wants to have the power with them. Yes, and of course power sharing. Anyways, the answer is there in the question itself. Yes, power sharing. Sharing of the power. Very good, very good. So I think I can see that many of you are voting for the correct answer. So I think, and we have a good amount of votes also, so we can end the poll. Yes, easy peasy, everyone. So the correct answer over here for this particular question is what? Option number A. Now, if you look at the other options also, I'm sure you'll be able to find the correct, you'll be able to differentiate that what is wrong in the other options. If we start from the option number D, majoritism, right, basically it emphasizes more on the peace resolution. No, we know that it's not the case. Option C made emphasis on the accommodation of the minority. No, it is all about the majority and the rule of the majority. Option number B talks about the need of consents, building, power sharing, emphasis on the minority group. No, that's not the case. So option number A is the correct answer. Why? We know that what will happen in the majorityism is that they will try to have the dominance right? The majority community will try to control the government, or we can say they will try to control the rules and regulation. Whereas in power sharing, emphasize on sharing of the power amongst different groups altogether. So option number A is the correct answer. I hope that you're clear with this, everyone. Here we go, right? Yes, here we have the Kaju Katlis. I'm making smileys Kaju Katlis today. Chaliye, let's move to the next question, everyone. Let's move to the next question. One interesting fact, everyone, not the fact. I'm just calling it as a fact. But from the chapter, The Making of the Global World, we have 3 important topics that we have in the beginning of the chapter, right? First part, 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. That's it that we have in the board examination. The rest of the chapter, basically, it's more focused on the internal projects and the internal assessment. Yes, very good. Okay. Moving to the next question, everyone. Here we have the question from the Pol Science. And this is assertion and the reason. 2 statements that we have. Statement A, the assertion reason, talks about that the democracy are based on the political equality. Okay. This statement is definitely have some sense, right? The reason for that is that all individuals have equal say in electing representative. So there are 2 hints that you can take, look over here and get the hint from. We have the word democracy and then we have the electing representative. And then of course the other word is the equality over here. So what do you think will be the correct answer? Do you feel that both these statements are absolutely correct and reason is the correct explanation for it? Or it's not the correct explanation, or both one of these statements is incorrect? Yes, everyone. Oh, I will vote. I don't know why I feel that majority of the options are coming at one particular, with the one alphabet. It's a dominating alphabet that we have in the room. Yes. Very good. अरे why B and C options are कहाँ पे? यहाँ पे B and C options कैसे सही हो सकते हैं? I think I'm not sure. Like I don't know which question you are referring to. Very good, everyone. I think we have good number of votes. And we have the majority, so we can end the poll and we know the correct answer that we have over here is option number A. Everyone, 82% of you have voted right for the correct answer. Yeah, I am also voting for the answers. Yes. See, I have the chat and it feels good, right? To vote for the correct answer. You know that, right? I play in Mentees. Sometime if you are also participating and I'll be like, I will also be there. In SST classes, I did it. And I will be writing my name. My name is Ankita. So we know that both the statement in this particular question are absolutely correct, right? Democracy are based on the political equality. Yes, we know that in the democracy what we have the political equality. People are treated equally, right? And of course, the people who are standing in the elections also have some equality. There's no, if on the papers, there's equality. And we know that in the elections, right, we have a equal opportunity to elect the representatives. So easy peasy, everyone. Right? Awesome. So option number A is the correct answer. Very good, everyone.
Option may be instead of incorrect, it is correct.
Okay, where? Okay, this option this is incorrect. Incorrect. Okay, thank you for pointing this out, ma'am. Okay, everyone, so we are done with this. Yes, I can see that option A and B are saying, this is supposed to be incorrect, but I think by typing error, we have it as correct. It's okay. But you know the correct answer. Dolly, you're asking for class 8, ma'am, when people rebel in history. But we did it last year. So you can watch that video if you have the examination. We'll be doing in the near future. Yes, everyone, are we clear? Chaliye. Now, of course, we'll call Ashwara, ma'am, for the next set of questions. Here you go, ma'am.
Okay, so the next question that we have here is based on the chapter Money and Credit. Rahul has a sack of cotton, but he is in need of wheat. And Anush has a sack of wheat and is in need of cotton. Under this situation, both will be able to exchange their goods. Okay. In the case of absence of such coincidence of wants, they may not be able to exchange their goods. So which among the following would be the best option that would describe the mutual exchange of goods and eliminate the exchange? Now this is very simple. First of all, one part of the answer they have already given it, right? So we know that this particular situation is nothing but the double coincidence of wants, where there are two people wherein the other has what that person wants, right? Now, if the second bit of it is what you need to focus on. If there is no double coincidence of want and you want to eliminate that, how will you eliminate it? What will you replace it with? Will you replace it with credit on commodity, loan on commodity, or will you replace it with money? Arey, this is very, very simple. And many of you have got the answer. And yes, correct answer here is option D. We can end the polls. So now we know that money that is there acts as a medium of exchange, right? So rather than exchanging the goods or waiting for that double coincidence of wants to occur, you can use a very simple medium of exchange, which is money. Easy peasy question. Awesome. So now, of course, we have another question which is going to be from political science, and please don't mind all the switching that's happening. We just want you to have it in flow. So I'll call in Ankita ma'am for this question.
Yes. Here we go to the next question. Anna, this question was my favorite because again, I don't know why I have a feeling, especially in our SST and especially with the political science, the chapters are so much interconnected that it might give you a feeling, ke ma'am, I don't know from which particular chapter we have the question. So in this particular question, right, we can see that if you are a citizen of a country that has a democratic form of the government, you want to ensure that a system of power sharing in your country is effective and that no one branch of the government has absolute power. Which of the following measures would best meet this goal? Easy peasy question, everyone, right? Now again, if you take a look over here, you feel that this particular question is from power sharing. But can you tell me exactly, of course, it has a little bit mix of federalism also. In the power sharing chapter, we have the information about it, but we can definitely link this particular question to federalism also. Yes? Okay. I can see the correct answers, everyone. Everyone, all of you vote. So many of you here, everyone. Please do take a moment and quickly vote for the correct answer. Yes. Okay. I can see there is a few confusion between option number C and option number D. Let's read the all options together. The option number 8 says that all power is concentrated in the hands of legislator only. We know that that's not correct. The option B is that power is divided between the central government and the state government, with each level having its own sphere of influence. Okay. It is divided between the central and the state government, with each level has its own sphere of influence. Okay. Then option number C is that power is separated amongst legislative, executive and judicial branches, with each branch having its own responsibilities and power. Option D is that power is shared amongst different levels of the government, such as national, regional and local government, with each level having some degree of autonomy. Right? Now, which is the correct answer, everyone? Everyone, can you quickly tell me? I can see some confusion happening in the answer, but the correct answer, the majority of you have voted for the correct answer, that is option number C. Now, why not B option and why not D option? See, the question is talking about the power sharing in your country, and one of the branch, right, they are saying that one branch will not have absolute power. So in the federalism, right, when we talk about it, right, where we see that power is being distributed horizontally and vertically. Yes, horizontally and vertically also. So option number C is apt over here. In option number B, right, they're just mentioning about the state government and the central government. So that could not be the correct answer over here. In the option number D, they have mentioned about the national, regional and local government. But we know that government is not the only one. See, everyone, I think that there's a huge confusion over here. Let me just go back. We know that we have three important things. We have legislative, we have executive, and then we have judiciary. Yes or no? I'm sure you have studied this in your which standard? 8th standard, 7th standard, you have studied this. Yes? The people who make the government sits over here. Assembly mein, right? We have the executive. Prime Minister is executive, right? Yes, everyone. So we have a long list of the people who will be executing what has been made. And then we have the judiciary that will keep a check. So if we talk about this format, right, we can clearly state that option number C is the correct answer. In option B, they're just talking about the central government and the state government. Government will not be able to do much in the judiciary part, right? We need the judiciary part, and that's really very important. So I hope that all of you are now clear that why option number C is correct and not option number B and D, where we have the major confusion. Are we clear? See, I'm really sorry for taking much time over here with this particular question, but this is very, very important. Give me a quick thumbs up, everyone, if you got this particular question correct. Done? Badhiya, right? Very good, Dolly. Comfy studies. Yes, sab hai. Divyanshu, Neha, very, very important. Yesha, Siddhant, Jia, Team 7 guy. Okay. Sorry for the background noise that we have. Little bit of construction is happening, so really sorry for that sound. Okay. Moving to the straightforward, easy peasy question, right? We know that from the history, right, and from the pol science, there are high chances of picture-based question coming in your examination. So we have this from the first chapter, that is the nationalism in Europe. We have to identify the painting, and of course I can see a long chain of the correct answer. Yes, which is really very easy, which is very, very easy. The options are Frankfurt Parliament, Reichstag, Duma, and the House of Parliament. Now, the House of Parliament, we have it in our country. Duma is there in Russia. This, of course, we have it in Germany, we can relate to. But of course, this is a Frankfurt Parliament. Option number A is the correct answer. Easy peasy, right? Yes, everyone? Option number A is the correct answer. Yes, that's what I was saying, Sherlyn, that majority of the options, especially in this sample paper, are option number A. And that's what I was telling Aishwarya ma'am also, that A is dominating because both our names are stand from A. It's such a lame joke, but yeah, it's okay. Okay, so that's option number A, everyone, for all of us. Now we'll be calling Aishwarya ma'am because we have a question from economics. Yes, here you go.
Okay, so now we'll move on to the next question, which is question number 11, where evaluate the impacts of opening foreign trade on the global economy by identifying the appropriate statements among the following options. So now, of course, we have 4 statements given to us from which you need to identify which are the correct options. Now, many of you are saying that, ma'am, I'm not able to see the options, but go ahead and have a look. The poll will be live and you can give me the answer. Or if you're watching this video much later, pause this video, try to give the answer by yourselves. Now, let's have a look. See, this particular part on globalization, if you see, globalization bit has actually undergone a little bit of chopping in syllabus. So this time around, mainly the focus is on impact of globalization, right? So now here they're asking us that if we open up foreign trade, that means that if this is my country, okay, and I have another country, let's assume Dolly has her own country, yes, and Dolly and I are 2 different countries and we open up international trade. What will be the impact on my country, or let's say what will be the impact on the other person's country, right? What are the impacts? Now for this, I would recommend that all of you, if you have your NCERT open, these are the important terminologies that you need to remember. Foreign trade and integration of markets, because here they will tell you, or this particular paragraph also talks to you about how important, right, foreign trade is. So let's get started. Now let's assume, let's go back to my example where this is my country. This is Aishwarya ma'am's country. Now in Aishwarya ma'am's country, some kind of, market, some kind of, manufacturing is happening. Toys are getting manufactured, right? The toy example is there in your textbook. So if let's take the toy example. Let's say within my country, only some toys are being produced. Now, let's assume from Dolly's country or from Subhash's country, we have imported some toys. Now what has happened? There is more choice for people to buy. Right now, we have some foreign toys coming in, so people will be like, oh, that looks good for the consumer. They'll be like, yes. So the choice of goods in the market will increase. Yes. Now, at the same time, what will happen? There is not just internal competition, but there is external competition also, right? So producers from 2 countries will closely, right, will closely compete against each other despite the distance. Maybe Subhash's country is far away, maybe Dolly's country is even far away, but still I'm competing with their countries because they're giving me good quality stuff, right? Thereby what has happened? It has resulted in connecting the markets. So markets from different countries have been connected. So now it is not restricted to one country, but it has brought in different countries together, right? But now, will the quality of the product always be good? Yes or no? The quality of the product, I'm saying product of quality, I don't know why. Quality of product, right? Will it always be good? Can you say that whatever I import from whichever country, right, is always going to be good, or whatever I manufacture in my country will be perfect, there will be no issues? No, right? Absolutely not. It's not that it is always going to be good. Yes, exactly, Aditya. It depends upon multiple factors. So in this case, can you say that all the options or all statements are appropriate? No, you can't say all are appropriate. Can you restrict yourself only to 1, 2 and 3? No, na? So in this case, what would be the answer? Answer here would be option B. So pay attention to the statements clearly. Yes, this right here is going to be important. Globalization is a very small chapter. I have seen that mainly only one MCQ question has come from this chapter. Not much has been there. But nonetheless, globalization is a very important chapter because you can get long answer questions. Don't worry, we'll be doing the chapter soon on the channel as well. Easy peasy chapter. I know, it's very easy. Okay. Now we will move on to correct option regarding government, which means we have to call Ankita ma'am in. Again, like I said, please don't mind the switches because we want you to get the experience of solving the whole paper at one stretch.
Yes. So here we have, everyone, the next question. Choose the correct option to complete the statement. The statement is, if a government provides its citizen a right and means to examine the process of decision, it is which government? It is which type of government? An accountable government, a responsible government, a transparent government, or a stable government? It's not a very easy question, I would say. Yes, we have not discussed this particular chapter in this academic year as of now, but of course we have the video on the channel. So if you have examination coming up, please, you can go and watch that particular chapter. And who will be telling me this particular question is from which chapter? हाँ, ये भी बताओ. We're talking about the it's the last chapter. That's a hint I can give you. Easy, right? I can see. Okay, I can see there are few incorrect options. I don't know why we have some incorrect options. Very good. Outcomes of the democracy. Yes. So let's end the poll. And I think we have a huge confusion over here. The question is, if a government provides its citizen a right and means to examine the process of decision, it is only one type of government, accountable government. It's option number A. See again, why? Responsible, transparent and stable governments are very good terms, right? They look very positive. But in the terms of the democracy, we always use accountable government. Why? Because a government is responsible. We have elected individuals. We have elected the leaders. Now they are accountable to us. So when this government is providing the rights to a citizen and the means to examine, right, the process and the discussion altogether, it is a government which is accountable. It's not that the government is saying, now you cannot judge us, or now you cannot question us. You can, right? They are accountable for it. So everyone, are we clear? Yes, Dolly ji, badhiya hai, aap class 8th ke, you're answering, but please don't spam. Right? You be here, bache. It's very good that you're answering, but please don't spam. Yes? Okay. Ma'am, but people have a right to examine the process, which is transparent. But again, which government will be giving you the chance to examine the process also? Right? Clear? I know that you have a confusion between the transparent and the accountable government, but if you read the chapter, right, and if you will take a look at the question itself, it is focusing more towards the accountable government. See, the government provides the citizen a right. They the right though, right? And now the means to examine the process. Basically, they are giving you right also to examine the whole process. Yes, a transparent government ka example could be that they are telling you what they are doing, right? They are following the policies, right? They are following the protocols. They are giving each and every information. Yes? Are we clear? Yes, everyone, are we clear? Are we clear with the difference of accountable and the transparent? Bhavish have just explained why not transparent. Yes, done, right? The transparent word we can actually relate to what the government is doing, right? They'll be very clear about the rules and regulations, the legal processes that they are following. Chaliye. Awesome. So this was an eye-opener question, I would say. Yes, it was an eye-opener for all of us. Okay. Chaliye. Moving to the next question, everyone. Here we have the question. It's a question from history, and I would say that it's a controversial question. I'm telling you the beginning only. Right? I wish that we could have gotten a better circumstances, but yeah, here we have. मेरी आंखें खुल गई हाँ बच्चे. Yes, Aditya, you're asking what do we mean by accountability, legitimacy, and the responsible government? All of these things, right? Okay, I'll explain you after this particular question. Lavanya, give me a moment, I'll explain it again. So, what we have over here, everyone, we have different events that have happened, and we have to arrange them in a sequential order that actually help in shaping the non-cooperation movement, right? Non-cooperation movement over here. So, let's take a look at the options, right? The statement that we have over here. General Dyer opened fire at a large crowd gathered in an enclosed ground of Jallianwala Bagh. Forced recruitment was carried by the British government and the economic hardship faced by the people during the First World War. The defeat, right, the defeat of the Ottoman Empire of Turkey led to the formation of the Khilafat movement, and Gandhiji launched the nationwide satyagraha against the Rowlatt's Act. Now, of course, everyone, if you look in the textbook itself, right, we know that what will be the correct order. But I have an issue over here with the correct order. So option number B is the correct answer. Why? Because we know that the first World War happened, right? So over here, that's the biggest hint we have. So the option with only the second option as a first order is option number B. So all of these questions are invalid now. First and the third part is absolutely clear. The third is that the defeat of the Ottoman Empire of the Turkey led to the formation of Khilafat movement. So these events, you know, what are happening in 1914 to 1918, the First World War. Then, of course, we are revolving in the year 1990 to 1920. Clear? So everyone in the textbook, you know what they have mentioned? They have mentioned that Gandhiji launched the worldwide satyagraha against the Rowlatt's Act in March, right? And of course, the Hartal happened on 6th of April. Yes, I'm sure you all have seen this. Yes, everyone, come on. I know this question is a little bit boring, but look over here. Yes, and the first option that we have is General Dyer, that Jallianwala Bagh incident happened on 13th April. So that's one of a little bit confusion that we have in this particular sample paper. It could be that CBSE might release a new, a new correct version of it. But as of now, we know that this is a correct order. Everyone, this is again an eye opener. Just in case agar aisa aapko lagta hai in the examination also there are a little bit of the confusion, go for the option which you feel that is more closer to the correct answer. Clear? Over here we know that two options are absolutely correct, right? Though events ka sequence is absolutely correct. Remember this particular part. Yes, Comfy studies. So I hope that everyone, now your doubt is clear. Going back to this question, right? Going back to this particular question of outcomes of democracy, right? Now, when we talk about a government, right, a government should be accountable. Should be accountable, should be legitimate, means it should be real. Whatever they are doing, right, whatever they are doing, yes, should be real. Responsible in the sense they should be able to take their own responsibilities. It should not be the case. For example, they made this policy. Now they are responsible for it to follow. They are responsible that it's been taken well by the people. Right? Because the intent of making that policy is for the people. Everyone, are we clear? So when we talk about the government, right, the government should be accountable, should be responsible, and of course should be legitimate. Clear? Those of you who have doubt, I hope that you are clear with this. Yes. Okay. Chaliye. Easy peasy, everyone. Chaliye. I can see that. Awesome. Okay. Now moving to the next question, everyone. Which is, I feel it's an economics question, ma'am, so we'll be calling you.
Okay, sorry about the drilling sound that's there. It's happening in the neighboring building, so we don't have any control. Anyway, coming here to question 14, right? If there is a disruption by transporters and lorries, they refuse to transport vegetables, milk, etc. from rural areas to urban areas, food will become scarce in urban areas, whereas farmers would be unable to sell their products. Which of the following sectors would get affected due to this situation? Very easy. So you have people who have decided, I will not transport food. Okay, they will not take food from your rural areas all the way to your urban areas. Yes, so they have decided, I will not take food. So in this case, what would happen? Which sector will get affected? Okay. Many parallel conversations on the live chat. I would recommend that you all don't have it. See, board exam is just few months away. Best time you pay attention, right? Okay. Very good, all of you. Very, very good. I can see the answers and I think majority of you have got the answer. It is option C. Because see, you know that all the sectors are interconnected. Now your primary sector is from where you get your raw materials come from. So farmers are the ones giving you the raw materials. Now from here, we know that the raw materials are needed for your secondary sector or your manufacturing sector. Now, how will it go from primary to secondary? With the help of services, right? With the help of tertiary. So now, if your tertiary sector refuses to send your primary sector products, right? Your secondary sector will also get affected. So it will not just be primary and tertiary getting affected. It will be all three. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. So correct answer here is going to be option C. And yes, the PDF will be provided at the end of this class, right? Why not D? Because see, although from this question you can directly infer that your primary and tertiary sectors are getting affected, you know that the food, right? You know that the food that is there. Let's assume that whatever food it be, some of it is also needed for manufacturing. For example, you have tomatoes, right? You will use tomatoes to nicely make some tomato chutney at home. But at the same time, these tomatoes are raw materials for, let's say, tomato ketchup, or it is raw materials for maybe making some kind of pasta sauce that is needed. So those are also raw materials, right? So here, although you need to understand that all sectors here are interconnected. So correct answer is C. Now we will move on to a version of statement 1, statement 2, which is from print culture. So over to you, Ankita ma'am.
Here we have. Print culture is a very interesting chapter, and for those of you who are saying, ma'am, it's a very lengthy and boring chapter, we'll make it interesting tomorrow at 7:15 everyone. So 7 baje. Kal 7 baje session hai. 7 baje, right? Na? Yeah. 8, yeah. It's at 8 everyone. So yeah, we'll have a night time routine. So at 8 tomorrow, everyone, we have this particular chapter, print culture. So please make sure you join the class tomorrow. The question is, Western printing technique and the mechanical press was imported in the late 19th century as Western power established their outpost in China. Statement 2 is that Beijing became the hub of the new printing culture, catering to the Western style school. Interesting question. What will be the correct answer, everyone, over here? We have to tell that whether both the statements are correct or incorrect. Yeah, so we know that Western printing technique and mechanical press were imported in the 19th century as a Western power established their outpost in China. Okay, right? Statement 2 is that Beijing becomes the hub of new printing culture. What do you think will be the correct answer? Yes, very good everyone. I can see majority of you are voting for the correct, not the correct answer. Yeah, just saw, not the correct answer. So can I give you a hint over here? Can I give you a hint over here? Statement 2 is not correct. Right? Why? Because Beijing never became the hub for new printing culture. We know that printing was there in China, right? We know that printing was there in China, and when the travelers went to China, from there they learned the technique, and of course then they traveled with that technique. Basically they learned the technique, and of course they were going and telling about it. So option number B will not be the correct answer. Definitely the Western printing technique and the mechanical press imported in late of 19th century as a Western power established their outpost in China. So as more and more people started going there, we have seen this, right? Clear? And Beijing तो है ही नहीं chapter में, सही बोल रहे हो. नाम ही mention नहीं करा है. Absolutely correct. सब China बोला है. चलिए, option number A is the correct. So statement 2 is incorrect and statement 1 is absolutely correct. Clear everyone? It's okay, right? It's okay if there's any confusion over here. It's perfectly fine. Yes. Are we clear? Yes. Are we clear with this? Okay. Chaliye. Let's move to the next question, everyone. Next question is question number 16, and it is from geography. It is about the soil.
Okay. So it's very fun exchanging with Ankita ma'am like this, but I know majority of your MCQs is going to be political science. Okay. Yes, I know geography lessons are pending, but we'll be doing it soon. Now, M gave his friend clues about a type of soil that is suitable for growing cotton. Which of the following clues provided by M would be most useful in identifying the ideal soil type? This is from your first chapter, which is nothing but resource and development. So it is known for its capacity to hold moisture. It turns yellow when hydrated. It is rich in kankar and bhangar nodules. It is well drained, loamy soil. So we are talking about a soil type which is used for growing cotton. So which clue, right? Which clue are we going to be talking about? Ma'am, we got this in internal exam. See, now I'll tell you one thing. Okay, now I'll give you a small secret or a cheat sheet to a teacher's paper setting technique. Now, from your pre-boards onwards, sample paper question, BYQs, and your practice paper questions will definitely come. Maybe they'll change 1-2 things here and there, but I'm telling you, these are the kind of questions that are going to come, especially in your pre-boards. That's why these classes that we take are going to be very important, right? Very good. I think majority of you have given me the correct answer. We can end the polls, ma'am. Answer is option 1. Now, when you talk about soil that is needed to grow cotton, right? We know that the soil which is also called as cotton soil is nothing but black soil, or we call it as regur soil. And what is one of the most important things that you need to keep in mind? It has the ability, or it's well known for its capacity to hold moisture, right? Now here it's turning yellow is your red and yellow soil that is there. Kankar bhangar is your this one alluvial soil, right? Well drained loamy soil is with reference to your forest soil that is there, which is why in this case answer is option A. Very simple and easy. Only clue 1 will give an idea of what kind of it would be option M. Yes? Awesome. Moving on. Choose the correct option on political parties. So Ankita ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I don't think you should sit.
Yeah. Especially in this part, with the MCQs. We have 9 questions of the pol science. Okay. Choose the right option to fill in the blanks. The statement is, the emergence of it's directly connected to the rise of the political parties. Oh, this is a very trickier question. Let's see. The emergence of it's directly connected to the rise of political party. What is the, again everyone, I'm giving you a hint over here, right? Political parties, right? Emergence directly to connect with the political parties, and we are trying to relate with the democracy. So you can relate it. Monetary democracy, direct democracy, representative democracy, or the constitutional democracy. I can see there could be the a little bit confusion between option number 2, right? There are 2 options that can have a confusion, but I can see that all of you are doing absolutely great. Arey, don't be sad, be happy. Political party session is not done yet, Shreya. We have it on our channel, so you can go and watch that, but we will be doing one shot very soon. Yes, I can see now the correct answer, everyone. The correct answer over here is representative democracy. The emergence of is directly connected to the rise of political parties, and that is a representative democracy, where of course what we have the representatives, right? And they are actually representing us. So what we have, representative democracy. Are we clear? Yes? Are we clear? See, bachcho, just in case if you feel that few of the questions are a little bit overwhelming, it's just because it could be that in your schools and over here we haven't finished those particular chapter learning, right? We will be doing it for sure. Okay, chaliye. इसी बात पे हम लड्डू खाते हैं. We are actually almost 1 hour into the session and we are still on MCQs. We'll pace it up now. Here, everyone, you have question number 18 and it's from the economics.
Okay, so this right here is a very simple one. The process of, this is a direct question. This is a definition based question, right? Process of integration between different countries is called as dash. Is it privatization, globalization, liberalization, or competition? Very simple, off the textbook. It is directly from the textbook. Easy peasy, very good. This is what we call as globalization. So globalization is nothing but a process of integration of different countries, right? And your multinational companies play a very important role in this process of integration. Now, what is liberalization? Liberalization is with respect to trades where there is not a lot of restrictions put on trading between different countries. So that's what we understand as liberalization. Privatization is a slightly different concept where when a, let's say, government-owned business or something becomes owned by a private organization. Competition is nothing that we need to know, right? So this is very simple and easy peasy. Yes, I think the previous thing needs to be ended, but it's okay, right? This was a very direct question. So now we will move on to question number 19. Now we're in the last leg of section A. So this is again going to be from your political science. So going by to Ankita ma'am again.
Yes, welcome back everyone. Here we have. So here we have the question which is based on the political science, and the question is on the formation of the government. The statement, we have 4 statements in total, right? We have 4 statements, statement 1, 2, 3 and 4. Statement 1 is it possible for an independent candidate to form a government, right? So basically we have to pick the correct statement in relation with the formation of the government. किस तरीके से government बन रही है? First statement is that, is it possible for an independent candidate to form a government? Statement 2, government formation is exclusively reserved for political parties. Statement 3 is, the formation of government is limited only to elective political parties. Or option statement 4, government can only be formed by political parties that are elected and hold a majority. I can see the correct answer. I'll vote from my phone also and from Ashwarya's ma'am phone also. Yes, everyone. Option number D is the correct answer, which is absolutely correct. See, we know that the government can only be formed by political parties that are there in the majority, first of all, and that are elected, right? Is it possible for an independent candidate to form the government? No. A single candidate cannot form the government. It needs a party, right? So option number statement A is incorrect. Government formation is exclusive for the reserved, right, for the political parties? No, that's not the case, right? And the formation of the government is limited only to elected political parties? No, we have the coalition government idea also. So here we have the correct answer. With this, everyone, we are done with question number 19 and moving to the last question, everyone. Last question of political science and of the MCQs. Assertion and the reason. A statement is that India is a country with multi-party system set up. Okay. The reason for that is the multi-party system often appears very messy and leads to political instability. We have to find out whether both the statements are correct or whether are right or whether the R is a correct explanation for A. Yes? Read the statement carefully and I can see the correct answer. Very good, Divyanshu. Yes, very good, Rashi. Board examination, but your date sheet is not yet out, but according to CBSE, you will have it in the month of Feb. Instability means sthirtha nahi hona. It's not stable. The government can, for example, one day the government is there and next day, if the members if they resign, there's no government. Unstable government. Okay, everyone. So, yes, we have the correct answer and that is the option number B. Very good, everyone. Very, very good. We know that India is a country with a multi-party system. We have so many parties in our country, right? That is absolutely correct. Reason is also correct that multiple party system often appears very messy and leads to political instability. That is absolutely correct. But of course, do you think that the reason is correct? Just ask the question why. Just ask the question why. We know that it's not, right? So here we have the correct answer, that is option number B. That both the statements are correct, but R is not the correct explanation for A. Yes. Rashmi, I understand that there are some issues with that particular chapter. So I would request you to go back to the video and see what I have explained. If you still feel that there's a little bit more confusion, you can go and watch the video which we have on our channel. Okay, everyone. So now we are moving to the option, sorry, not option B, but section B. Yes. So are you ready?
How much did they get out of 20?
Yes. Are you ready, everyone, for this? Clear, right? And tell me how much you got out of 20. So what is your score? 20 out of 20 or whatever be the number. Yes, and please don't be very harsh on yourself. It's okay. 18, okay. 18 is a lucky number, I feel like. We have 15. Oh, someone is saying 22 also. See, if that's the case, mine is 40. Okay, 19, 17, 18. Good, everyone, good. Ashara ma'am is also saying very good. Yes, okay. And ma'am is very proud of you.
15 above is good marks.
Yeah, 15 above is good marks.
Because then you keep progressing.
Yes, then you keep on progressing. I'm just translating what ma'am is telling me. Okay, everyone. चलिए 60 वाह फिर तो मेरे 80 हैं ऐसा कंपटीशन मत लगाओ मैम के साथ. Yes, so yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yes, chalo. So we'll quickly take a look, everyone, at the section B, and we will finish this off, and then we'll take a break. Right? Then we'll have a class of approximately 1.5 hours, so that will be good time to take a break. Yes, okay, everyone. It's my question, so I'm standing over here. Section B, question number 1 that we have 21.
Next one.
Yes. So here, everyone, with this, I'm sure we'll be able to call out the name of the chapter. It's the power sharing. We have to study the map thoroughly and mention the languages that are dominantly present in Belgium. Easy peasy question. This is the example of the first type of application, direct question that we have. Okay, very good. Power sharing. Oh, awesome. Yes. So we can see that, right? We can clearly see we have different communities, right? We have Dutch speaking people and we have French speaking people. We have to mention the languages that are dominantly present in the Belgium, right? That is Dutch, French. Dominant language are two, which is French and the Dutch, right? Brussels is the capital region. Then we have Wallon, right? Walluna, which is the French speaking region, and then we have the Flemish, which is the Dutch speaking region. Yes, so 59% absolutely correct. Bhai, number bhi yaad hai. I'm very proud of my students. So everyone, the correct answer to this question will be Dutch and the French. Yes, Wallonia. Yes, absolutely correct. Yes, I was just thinking it start from W only. Yes. Okay. So here, everyone, the correct answer over here is the Dutch and the French. These are the two languages which are dominating. Right? Of course, we have the Germany also. Right? We have the Germany also, but of course, It's not the dominating language. We have these two. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm telling you, bache. It's not Germany. Okay. Yes, chaliye. Moving to the next question, which is of course from the Now this is from the chapter the making of the global world, right? How many of you have read the chapter? Luckily for us this time, we just have the only 3 topics in the beginning. Yes? Clear? We have it in the beginning, 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3, which will be the part of our board examinations syllabus. The rest of the chapter, you probably will have an assignment of the internal assessment. So the question is, the most powerful weapon of the Spanish conqueror was not of the conventional military weapon at all. Justify the above statement by giving the 2 reasons. So in this particular chapter, everyone, what had happened, right, that the Spanish and the Portuguese people actually were conquering, were invading and were traveling throughout the world, and they entered the America. Even though they didn't use a military weapon, we saw that in the years to come, they got the power. So what is the reason behind it? Absolutely correct, Neha. Very good, Manju. Very good, Max. Very good, Sunil. Yes. So it was not that they were right. So what they did? They had some people which were infected by the smallpox. And the American continent, right, was untouched by the people. Not many people visited there. So of course the people does not have the immunity. Once there was introduction of the smallpox in the country, we saw that populations were cleared off. And slowly, we saw the more people coming from the European countries and settling there, because the condition in the Europe was not good for the jobs and for the living. Clear? So we saw this part, and that's how we can write the answer over here. So smallpox and the conqueror was the answer. Portuguese and the Spanish, right, came to the America, and they didn't use any military weapon. But of course, they used the smallpox as the weapon. As the European came, they brought the smallpox to the America. And of course, the native died because they didn't have the immunity. And of course, that's slowly we saw the population of the America going down. So here everyone, we have the NCERT textbook also. You can definitely read it. The answer over here. The answer is over here in the last paragraph. Okay? This is 1.3. Yes. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, done. Even I have voted now. Yes, everyone, please don't have the parallel conversations. Okay, so here everyone, this is how you can write the answer. I will move aside. See, I'm not going into the details how you have to write. You know, we have discussed the important points. Please make sure to underline the important sentence, right? See over here, important words like they used germs like smallpox, right? They had no immunity, made easy for the Spanish to overcome the Americans. Yes? Clear? Yes. Easy peasy, everyone. We have one more question, which is the or of this particular question. Here, let's go, everyone. Let's take a look over here at the or part. Traders and travelers introduced new crops to land they traveled. We have to explain, right? What is the meaning of substantial? Right over here, it means that we have to explain or to provide the evidence to support our answer. Yes, everyone, are we clear with this particular question that we had? Question बस ये पूछ रहा है कि किस तरीके से स्पेनिश वाले लोगों ने विदाउट एनी वेपन यूज करे किस तरीके से अमेरिका को कॉन्कर किया. अब उन्होंने कोई वेपन यूज नहीं करे थे. जब वो आए थे अपने साथ में स्मॉल पॉक्स लेके आए थे. अब स्मॉल पॉक्स एक ऐसी डिजीज थी जिसने अमेरिकन को इन्फेक्ट कर दिया और उनके पास में इम्यूनिटी थी ही नहीं कि वो उसे झेल पाए. तो इवेंचुअली उनकी पॉपुलेशन कम होती गई और स्पेनिश पीपल ने उन्हें कॉन्कर कर लिया और ऑफकोर्स they become more and more powerful over there. Along with Spanish, we have the Portuguese also. And later, European लोग भी बहुत सारे आ गए थे. Awesome, awesome. Yes, trade and traveler. हमें पता है कि trade and traveler जब उस जमाने में घूमते थे, right? They would have introduced new crops to the land they were traveling. So of course we have the proof, right? We have the proof of potato, right? We have the proof of spaghettis, noodles. So noodles travel करे, right? The noodles traveled from the China and they went till the Arabs, went to the Italy and it became pasta. Yes? Or the spaghetti. Potato traveled in such way. So we have this over here, everyone. So we know that the Silk Route was there, and of course, a lot of trade exchange used to happen from it. A lot of Christian missionary and religious people used to travel, and they used to spread talk about the religion, etc. We saw the Buddhism spread from India to different other parts also. Noodles in China become spaghetti in the Italy when they travel to the west part. Very important. And Arabs took pasta, right? This is interesting. We have more example, everyone. When the Christopher Columbus traveled to America, right, we saw that there's a carrying of different types of crops all together. Very, very good, everyone. So here we have the answer, such as potato, right? Soybean, groundnut, maize, tomatoes, chili, sweet potatoes, all of these are being transported, right? They do not have the origin that they have, but of course, the food that comes to our Asia, right? Of course, it's the result of the traveling. Yes, so here everyone, this is the topic 1.2 from your NCERT textbook. See over here, they have mentioned over here. So this is a part where you can read more about it over here. This whole part, right? Yes, everyone, are we clear? BYJU'S, did we need to give the explanation in 2 markers question or only write some points? See, again, you just have to write the some points, not all the points. You don't have to go into the detail per se. See over here, right? You can just write any of these 2 points. You can mention about the movement of potato. You can mention about the movement of these spaghettis or the noodles. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Are we clear? Hello, Anurag. Welcome to the class. I know. You know, the 2 chapters of class 10th which are a little bit not that interesting is, I'll not say not that interesting being a teacher, but of course I have said now, so the making of the global world and the age of the industrialization are very difficult chapter to tackle. Okay, everyone. So now we're moving to the question number 23, and it's a economics question. We'll be calling Aishwarya ma'am. Everyone, stay focused. I can see that there are a lot of conversations which are happening. We don't want to block you or, put you on timeout. So you are here, learn aram se with us.
Okay, so now we'll move on to question number 23, and this right here is a 2-mark question, of course. Mr. Palani is from Tamil Nadu and wishes to cultivate either tea or wheat. Which one of the following crops out of the 2 can he cultivate in his state? Substantiate with your answer with any 2 reasons. Yes, this is a very easy question. See, now I know, like, most of section A and B is a lot of political science and history. I think my bits will come later in the second half. What is given to us? So we have Mr. Palani, who is from Tamil Nadu, and he has to choose between tea or wheat. Now, what can he cultivate in his state? Which means this particular topic is from your agriculture chapter, right? So this right here is from your agriculture chapter, and in this we need to recall the climatic conditions. So in agriculture, when we cover it, there's going to be quite a bit that we will cover with respect to type of crops, right? What are the climatic conditions necessary, in which all states we find the distribution, so on and so forth, right? But this is a very direct one. Tea or wheat? We know that for wheat, the climatic conditions, the conditions in Tamil Nadu would not be ideal for cultivation of wheat, because what is necessary in the case of, let's say, tea requires a little bit of subtropical climate, right, which is warm, moist and frost free. That means that there's that when it's in winter, it does not dip too much, right? It requires a good amount of adequate rainfall, preferably in the hill slopes with fertile and well-drained soils, right? And tea is normally grown in West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Assam. So in this case, tea is something which is ideal. But in the case of wheat requires a cooler temperature to grow and requires bright sunshine. Now, it does not require that much of rainfall, right? And again, it requires loamy and well-fertile soils. And normally, wheat is cultivated in your northern plains, right? In the Ganga Satluj plains and in some parts of the Deccan region. Which is why in this case, when you are writing it, these are the pointers that you need to keep in mind. Now, many of you are asking me, ma'am, why should I underline? Should I underline with pen, pencil? What is the whole thing? Now, preferably, it is recommended that you underline with your pencil. Why underline? Because it's good for paper presentation. So when I am correcting, if you all underline and give it to me, I know, okay, climatic conditions are suitable to grow. Tropical, subtropical climates are necessary, requires well-drained soil with a lot of fertility. warm temperature, for frost free. Easy for me, right? My key points are already, like I am directly looking at my key points. Now you need to write any 2 out of the 4, 5 that we have given to you. We've given extra points so that you are able to know that. Sometimes you'll ask me, if I write only 2, you'll be like, what if I write this, will I get mark? If I write something else, will I get marks? So that is why the reason we have given you all the pointers is so that you know if you write any out of these 2, it is good enough. And you will get 2 marks out of the same. Simple. Are we good to go? Okay, easy peasy questions. Awesome. Now we will move on to the next one to state why or mention any 2 reasons to state that India is a federal country. Now who will tell us if India is a federal country? That's of course going to be Ankita ma'am. So ma'am, over to you.
And someone is asking, ma'am, black pen is allowed on the board. See, you will see that, at various different places, they will tell you that, you can use, but see, I have corrected board papers, so I will say that it's not at all, like, of course, if you write it, we don't have an option, but it's good, it is advised that please do not use the black color pen, okay? There is a reason for that. So basically, the blue color is very easily readable, you can actually clearly see it. But the black pen, there are chances of something happening. Yes. So, of course, usually they don't encourage the students to use the black pen. See, no black pen, no red, and of course, no green pen for sure. Green pen are only meant for principal. How many of you seen principal signature? I'm just going off the topic, but I'm very, very interested because I love the green pen. When I was in a school, when I was a kid, I bought green pen and I used to do my rough work with green pen because I loved it, especially the pilot pen, right? They'll be very, very pinpoint and very amazing. Chaliye. So just focus. Blue is our color, everyone. Blue is the color of the students. That we'll remember. And moving to the, yes, Parker, to be very specific. Okay, here we have mentioned 2 reasons. We have to mention any 2 reasons to state that India is a federal country. Easy peasy. You have to state the reason for state 2 reasons that why the India is a federal country. So I can see that many of you are confusing with the power sharing. We have 2 important functions. Moral, right? It is based upon the morality and the tradition, right? Those 2 things are very different. In the federal, when we talk about the federal country, right? Like India, what we have? Definitely, we have division of the power. We can clearly say that we have a proper division of the power. Then we have independent judiciary. Now, any of these, right? All of these have their independent power. And the ultimate power that we have, of course, is with the people. Apart from that, we have judiciary system that is not in control of the government, right? That's not in control of the government. So over here, if we have to write 2 factors, what are the factors we can write? We can mention about, we have the division of power, right? We have division of power, we have judiciary, independent judiciary, right? Of course, we have representative also. So here everyone, this is how you can write. We have division of power, right? हमें पता है कि clear division है. We have different list for the central government and for the state government. Central and the state government have their own areas where they'll be working. We have union list that tells about that what are the areas that comes under the central government where they have a right to make laws and the policies. Then we have the state list, which of course will have the areas where the state will be talking and taking the decision. And we have the concurrent list where of course it's a mix of both the government, central as well as the state government. Then we have independent judiciary. We know that we have the Supreme Court, the highest judiciary authority. And we have studied in our previous classes that even the government cannot challenge the Supreme Court, right? Supreme Court is the highest judiciary authority that we have. Okay? Jishna, bache, yes, we have one shot. Right? We have one shot of print culture tomorrow and we have it on our channel also. Chaliye. The other part, everyone, the last part is the representation of the states. So we have Rajya Sabha. The upper house of the Indian Parliament that represents the state and the union territories. So the members over there are elected by the legislative assemblies member, right, of the state and the union territories. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Yes, are we clear? You can mention about the federalism features. Yes, you can. You can, bache, but of course, if you look over here, they're just asking about the direct thing. Reason the state that India is a federal country. Right? You can state why India is a federal country. You can mention any of these 2 points. Done, everyone? Are we clear with this? Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy question, everyone. Okay. So now we are moving to section C, but before that, I think we can take a break. We are almost 1.5 hours into the class. We can take a break of 5 minutes. So I think now is 7:30. I'll count as 7:30. So we'll meet at 7:35. 5-minute break, everyone. Please go out, right, drink some water, come back refreshed, and we'll be starting our class, right, at 7:30. Okay, we'll be starting our class at 7:30 p.m. Yes, we will be providing you the notes after the class today. We will be sharing the PDF with you on the Telegram group of 9th and 10th BYJU'S. So yes, everyone, we will see you back, right? We'll see you back in just few minutes. It has 3 trials of the government. Judiciary of the each trial is mentioned in the constitution as it's correct. Yes, haan bache. Okay. Chaliye. Okay, everyone. Right? Chaliye. Now we are taking a break of 5 minutes. Chotu Botu's a break of 5 minutes, right? We'll be back. Don't worry. This 5 minutes will go like this. And then, of course, we have big questions coming, everyone, now. Okay? In section C, we have question of 3 marks, and we have 5 marks, 4 marks, and map work. So we have a long way to go. Okay, everyone. See you in 5 minutes. Bye-bye.
Seven 35.
Yes, we will be starting in a bit. 1 minute, everyone. Yes, everyone, we are here. 2 milliseconds late. Late. Oh. Yes, we are here. Thank you, Aditya, for keeping that note. Or a late OP are you? You are here only. Okay, chaliye. So let's start, everyone. The section C. We have the question from the print culture. Let's take a look over here. Hello, student Ash. Good evening, good evening. Yes, okay. Guitar with Tanishk, Soumya, Supriya, Akansha. Chaliye, okay. We have to provide the evidence that support the claim that the print culture had an significant impact on the social lives of women in India. So it's a very interesting question, everyone. This is a very interesting question, and I would say that, it's a very easy question also. Now, why? Because the question is that we have to state or we have to write some points that will be helping us to understand or will be supporting that the print, as the introduction of print culture happened in the country, it has a very great impact on the women's in India. Okay? So we know that before that, if we go back into the history, women were not allowed to read, first of all. They were not allowed to go to the schools. Even if a few families, right, if their father are liberal or their husbands are liberal, they were actually helping the women in the house to study. Right? They didn't have, the formal education. They were not allowed to go to the schools, etc. So that was a condition. But as we had the print culture, right, we saw that there was an increase in women getting aware about what is happening in and around the world because of the textbooks, poems, etc., etc. So that actually impacted, and slowly we saw that there was a revolution where women started learning and getting education. So we have these important points, everyone. Let's take a look over here. Right, so we can say that the rise of the print culture in India would actually be the awakening of the social, for the women of our country. Right, they got the access of the information, there was spread of the knowledge and the ideas. We have various women magazines, newspapers, books were provided, right? So that the women can express their views, ideas and opinion. Of course, later we have various social issues such as education, gender equality, women rights and social reforms were discussed. We have that, this important point, everyone, in the families only if they have a liberal father. The meaning of liberal over here is a free mind individual, right? And who is open for suggestion, of course, who is working for the equality. So if they have a liberal husband or the father, they actually took the initiative in educating their women in the house itself. Clear? The next part over here, they have given some example, everyone, in our textbook. So it's a 3 marks question, right? It's a 3 marks question. So we can see how many points we want to write. 4 points are enough for the 3 marks question. Yes? Very good, very good. So we can mention about few examples, right? Sundari Devi, right? He was an unmarried woman to a very orthodox household. He used to study secretly in her kitchen, and she wrote later, right, her autobiography. We have one more example of Kailash Bishri Devi, right, who wrote about the injustice that happens to the women and the load that they have to share in the household. Then of course we have in Maharashtra, we have Tarabai Shinde, Pandita Ramabai, who wrote about the society the upper caste women ka status, right, and the lives of the widows. The last point, everyone, we have this particular part where we have some stands from the women who wrote about that their lives is just in the four walls. They are not going out, and of course they don't have a life. So after the introduction of the print culture, definitely there was an improvement over there. So you can write any 3 points, everyone. So here we have the answer for it. Yes, I know we have exceeded the 4 points, but I'm just giving you options, right? I'm giving you options over here. Clear? So you can take a screenshot, everyone. Now these answers that we have over here, right, everyone, this is from the NCERT sample paper only, CBSE sample paper. Okay? So you can pick any 3 points that you wish to write. Probably you can cut down the examples, right? You can cut down the examples if you feel like that it's too much. You can do that. Rashi, I think you're asking me, can you explain it again in a very short if I have to tell you? In this particular question, we have to tell how the print culture helped or impacted on the women of a country. Initially, we can mention in one small 2-3 lines that they were not getting the education. The society was very orthodox, right? They were not allowed to go outside and study. But later, as there was introduction of the print culture, they got the women magazines, newspapers. They started expressing their views and their ideas. And slowly, they started writing and learning altogether. Done? Chaliye. Okay, next question, everyone. Next question is of, I think it's economics. So we're calling Aishwarya ma'am. It's economics, right?
Okay, so now we will move on to question number 26. Now this has an internal choice. That means that there are 2 parts to this question and you can take any one of it, right? But we will solve both. But in your exam, you don't need to do both. You need to solve any one. Now here, this question is a little bit, it's a little weird, okay? I'll tell you why. Because, not weird, it's a little indirect. A worker in an urban area who was working in a small factory was not paid his wages properly, and he was forced to work extra hours under poor working conditions. There was no job security, and recently he lost his job and was found selling electrical items in a pushcart. Analyze the role of the government in protecting workers working in an unorganized sector. I know, right? I know many of you will say, ma'am, the Menegra. Oh God, I can never say that, in that manner. But here, although you might think it's Menegra, which when I first read it, right? But here if you look at it, we are talking about unorganized sector in urban areas. And we are talking about how they can or what are the ways in which. Now he was working in a proper factory. But what happened to him? Because it was not organized properly, we saw that he ended up pushing some electrical items. So now in this case, as much as you may say, ma'am, it's Menegra, this is slightly different because here you need to see what or how can the government contribute, right, in helping these workers. Not self-help group. No. Self-help group is far away. Now, how can they be protected? That is what they are asking you. How can these people who work in the unorganized sector be protected? So first and foremost, what do we know, right? We know that factories that are there, they need to be registered with the government, right? So if there is a worker in an urban area and he's working in a factory, this factory that is there has to be registered with the government so that they can implement the labor laws, right? And we know that small scale industries, or there must be provision made where the government or provisions wherein cheap loans can be provided. Now along with that, in urban areas, this is one sentence that is there, wherein they say that they need to provide support in procuring raw material and marketing output. So here you need to understand that although you might say Manegra, do you remember Manegra was mainly for your daily wage workers, your rural areas, right? And they spoke about how your daily wage workers experience this. But we know that unorganized sector is not restricted only to your urban rural areas. It is also unorganized sector exists in your urban areas also, right? So first and foremost, you should not jump to the conclusion that here they are asking about rural areas. Manegra that was there was for your daily wage workers and all of that. But at the same time, here what are they asking? They are asking you if in urban areas, that's why they are saying specifically that a worker was working in an urban area and it was all these things and eventually this happened. So how can the government help? Now, if they have to implement labor laws, they need to be registered with the government so that facilities like gratuity, pension and certain acts like the Minimum Wages Act, all of those can be implemented. Similarly, cheap loans and procuring raw material. So here, this was a very chalak question. To be honest, when I saw the question first, I spent some time thinking, okay, what could be the answer? And this is a perfect example of what is competency question, right? This is the perfect example. So here if you see when you are writing the answer, see I have modified now in your, if you look at the marking scheme, the main points are picked up from your marking scheme, but we have tweaked it in a language that is something which can be written by a student. There they'll give very technical kind of terminologies, right? Which is why we make it a point that the language is something that we use in your ways. So how do we go? What are the following ways in which we can do this? Factories should get registered with the government so that it can follow its rules and regulations like Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, so on and so forth. Government can provide loans so that whoever are, let's say, uneducated youth, or they want to, maybe don't say uneducated youth, but if they want to start up their own business or they want to start a small scale thing, they will be able to do it. Next, workers are supposed to. So when labor laws are implemented, they will get benefits under those, right? And at the same time, we know small scale industries need help in procuring raw materials and marketing, which is why casual workers in both rural and urban areas need to be protected. Okay, Seema, we will end this class in about half an hour, so please requesting you not to spam. So this was one part of the question. Second part is the easy part. So I know many of you, if you were given an option, right, you will pick this. Mr. Pavan, a village head, wanted to create more job opportunities to increase income of people in his village under the Manegra Act, right? So suggest any 3 activities that can be done so that Mr. Pavan could initiate in his village. This is direct. So if you get this question, you will be like, ma'am, I'll forget that first part. I don't want to answer that. Urban worker ko we don't care. We will do Pavan ka question because Pavan has made life easy, right? Okay. Self, what are you not understanding? Right? What is it that you are not understanding? See, I am not teaching you concept, no? I am helping you apply concept at this point. So please understand the difference. And if there's anything that you don't understand from our end, please let me know. I'll help you out with it. This is easy. So here, if he has to create more job opportunities in rural area, what are the 3 examples that you can give? Yes, very good. Hello, Harshit. No problem at all. Easy, create factory, or you can write about construction, construction of dams, right? I know, Pavan made life easy. So here, this is your NCRT corner, right? So this right here, they have explained it with respect to the example of Lakshmi, right? So they have given you indirect examples. So here they talk about various ways in which we can promote or create opportunities in rural areas. So what is one way? One way is that let's assume that invest money in transportation or storage, right? This makes connectivity easy, thereby we are able to have more trading. Yes, so this is one point that you can keep in mind. Or building a new dam is constructed, or canals. This way this would generate a lot of employment. This is one more point here. Along with that, you could promote local industries in semi-rural areas where a lot of people are there. opening cold storage, giving an opportunity for farmers so that they can, store their products and thereby they are able to sell it. Then along with that, you see you have so many examples which are mentioned, right? So 3 to 4 examples, you can write any. Now in this particular case, as per the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment, various initiatives can be taken. So all you need to do is write. You can give any. See, in your marking scheme, they've given cleaning lake or pond, right? So if cleaning lake or pond is done, then it improves quality of water, thereby increase agricultural productivity. Similarly, village road construction so that it improves accessibility. Next up, promoting small scale industries, right? So it could be, your milk societies or milk cooperatives so that dairy farmers can come together and increase income. Or it could be construction work, building dam, any 4 you write. This is for 3-mark question. So you need to give 3 points, right? 3 examples with which Pawan can increase or bring in that initiative of providing more employment in his village. Are we clear? Are we all clear with this question? Yes or no? Or have we been like, ma'am, kya hi, what is this? Okay. Ma'am, it's a little bit tricky. Yeah. Okay, wait 1 second. Some of the comments are running very fast. Ma'am, how it will fall under Menegra? See, that is the trick part. Okay. They have said, let me go back. They have said that wanted to create and increase income of his people under this particular policy, right? So in this policy, what have they asked? They have mentioned under this particular policy wherein we know that the government also aids, right, in providing job opportunities for your daily wage workers, right? And what is their aim? Their aim is ki within 100 days or something they have to give the job, right? Now here they have mentioned that. But what is the real question? The real question is suggest 3 activities. So ways in which you can generate employment. That is the question, right? So the question is not about Menegra per se. They are asking way in which they can generate those employment opportunities. That is what the question is really asking you. So are we clear? Are we clear on that? This is from your this one, 2nd chapter. Oh, exactly. So see, they will not ask you, you explain. See, Menegra ka policy we know, but it is basically generating village employment, ways in which you can generate. Okay? Very good. Moving on, this is question number 27, right? Okay. Ma'am, will these questions be repeated? See, they'll not ask you exact same thing, but the pattern of questions is what we need to focus on. And sample papers say 1-2 questions do come in board exam also. Yes? Okay. No problem, Rajita. We'll end it as soon as possible, so don't worry. Yes? Awesome. Next one is agriculture gives a boost to the industrial sector. Justify the statement with any 3 relevant points. Now, this right here seems like it's from the chapter agriculture. But actually, it is a mix of 2 chapters, okay? Little bit is from agriculture, little bit is from manufacturing industries. And trust me, there is one chuntu paragraph in manufacturing industries where they have mentioned this, right? So when you talk about agriculture, we know that one of the main occupations in India, right? One of the main occupations in India is in the field of agriculture. And first and foremost, we see that they provide raw materials for various industries, whether it be your agro-based industries, your cotton textile industries, right? So food processing industries. So in this particular case, we see that this right here is wherein they provide raw materials. So this right here is important. Next, when raw materials are provided, right? We know that it provides raw materials to various industries also, right? So it expands your industrial markets, thereby creating a lot of demand. So wherein there's a lot of demand and supply coming in, right? And when it provides, when there's a lot of demand and supply, it means that there are opportunities for more employment, right? So we see that this right here, when we talk about the agriculture, we see that this becomes very important for industries because a lot of industrial products for manufacturing it, you require such raw materials. And most importantly, if you take any textile industry or if you take any kind of food processing industry, one more requirement that comes in are all the machines that you need. So thereby there is a demand for the other, like let's say your iron steel industries and all of that, where a lot of your machines are also made. So it creates an indirect demand as well, right? Which is why this is the NCERT corner that I want all of you to focus on. Very, very important. Yes? So this is there in the first page of manufacturing industries. Okay? Manufacturing industries may just below why industries are important, you need to do. Ma'am, it prevents heavy dependency on agriculture. You can write that, but here we're talking about how agriculture promotes, right, or is necessary. So if you go back to the question, it says gives a boost to the industrial sector. So you need to talk about more of how it is playing a main role in improving the industrial sector. So your answers should be aligned more towards that, right? They go hand in hand also. That is another question that will come. Agriculture and the industrial sector go hand in hand. Justify. So then again, the same question will come. So that is one more kind of question that comes, right? So this statement, agriculture and industry are not exclusive. They go hand in hand. This they can quote and give you in your text, in your exam. Next up, right, we see that the agro industries in India have given a major boost to agriculture. So thereby it increases its increases its productivity. And of course, how did they do that? Because there's a need for raw materials and sell products such as, irrigation pump, fertilizers, so on. So this is creating for demand for those agro-based companies, right? And thereby what do we see? Apart from increasing their production, they have also made production processes very efficient. So thereby, in an existing market which is very competent, every industry needs to be efficient and competitive. That's why we see that in the case of manufactured goods, it should not just be par quality, but it should be of good quality in the international market. But here, for our question, this is some extra points given, but for our case, what do we need to do? Main 3 points. How it provides, sorry about that. How this right here provides raw material supply, right? So it is a significant source of raw material supply for food processing, textile, paper. You can elaborate on the examples, right? So here you can elaborate a little more how it helps in market expansion. That means that agriculture provides a vast market for the industrial process products, right? So for example, if you want to practice agriculture also, you can't just do agriculture as is. You have a lot of tools. So tractors, tillers, harvesters all create a demand for industrial goods. Similarly, even in manufacturing industries, iron steel industry may manufacturing demand comes in because you need to generate those machines. Yes. Then of course, employment generation. So we know that labor intensive sector, agriculture is labor intensive, so creates labor opportunities as well. And along with that, it is not just in the field of agriculture, but in industries also. So do you want to take a screenshot? Everybody quickly take a screenshot of this because this question is very, very important. Are we all clear? Hello Twilight, yes, done. Agar if you don't want to write it, take screenshot or mark it in your textbook, right? Mark it in your textbook. Ma'am, is this much explanation not required? See, we have given you in-depth explanation. Your marking scheme has also given you in-depth explanation. But you need to make sure that even if you write in 2-3 sentences, you write it in a crystal clear manner. Make sure that the point is conveyed clearly. Don't beat around the bush, right? Okay. Now we will move on to question number 28, right? Okay. Ma'am, should we give a title? See, I've given a title here, but not necessarily. You don't need to give a title for all of it. We have a few more, right? Few more questions are there, but not to worry. Don't worry, we'll discuss it in detail so that you find this session fruitful. Now we will move on to question number 28 and I'll hand it over to Ankita ma'am.
Yes, everyone. Let's take a look. Yes. Good evening. Yes, it's a question from political science. Yeah, we have three major hint in the question itself, and that will be helping us to solve this question, everyone. Yes, yeah, may I come? Yes, here I am. Okay, so see everyone, if you look at the political science, right, the chapters that we have are super, super important. I don't know, luckily, or I don't know what, it's not luckily, we don't have a question from the gender, religion and caste in this particular paper. So we have majority of the questions from the outcome of the democracy, few questions from the political parties. Majority of the questions we have from the first two chapters, power sharing and federalism. So here we have the question, the Indian constitution provides three lists, right? It provides the three lists, right? And to distribute the legislative powers that we have to state any two subjects that are included in the union list. So we know that we have different lists altogether. We have three different lists. We have a union list, then we have state list, and then we have concurrent list, right? Then we have to identify which of these are there. We have to say two subjects which are there in the union list. Easy. And in which list the subject education will come. Easy peasy everyone. You can take a screenshot over here. We have studied this earlier. I'm just repeating over here again for all of us. In the union list, we have the subjects that are concerned with the national importance. National importance, and we have the defense, currency, foreign affairs, banking and communication. All of these decisions, all of these policies, right, are with the union. The central government will be making the laws around it. So this is the supreme thing that we have over here. It is directly related to the country. Then we have the state list. Of course, the control will be there with the state government. The state government will be making these rules and regulation. What are the subjects we have over here? We have police, prison, commerce, agriculture and irrigation. All of these will come under where? All of these will come under the state list. And then we have the concurrent list. In the concurrent list, we have both the involvement of the central government as well as the state government. So both the subjects, right, the subjects that are common in both are for the concurrent list, and we have over here like education, forest, marriage, adoption, and the succession. All of these will come under the concurrent list. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy question, everyone. Yes, very good. Yes, Aditya. Yes, census will come under the union list. The survey that happens, right? The counting of the population. Clear? So this is how you can frame your answer, everyone. Very straightforward, very easy question for 3 marks. Not at all difficult. We are talking about the education over here, which is in the concurrent list. Are we clear? Clear. Now I'll be calling Aishwarya ma'am again. We have the question, GDP, ma'am. We have some tables that I don't understand. Here, everyone, handling over to Aishwarya ma'am. This is question number 29.
Okay. So I told you, right, in section C, D, E, you will see a lot of me. While in A and B, I was not even there. Okay. Now, this is again from sectors chapter. Now, if you think about it, sectors of Indian economy, and later on when you see money credits, there are a lot of questions. 2 chapters that I have told you. NCRT may line by line we have read and we've gone in details of it. So this right here is important. 2 tables are given to you, right? In one we have share of sectors in GDP with respect to their percentages and share of percentage employment, right? That means if this was the contribution of each sector in the GDP, then this is the percentage employment in every sector. So based on this, right, they're asking you why, if there has been a shift, right? So going back to the table that is there in your textbook. So we see that over a period of time with respect to contribution of a sector in GDP, we saw that there was a shift, but we do not see the same shift in employment. How many of you remember me telling you that this right here is very important to understand? Why was there no shift, right? Why was there no shift in the employment, but contribution of GDP or contribution of that sector in the GDP has changed over a period of time? I have told you that this right here is super important. Yes. Okay. Okay. So now, of course, when we talk about this, so this I will teach you with NCRT only, right? So understand that even though there has been a shift in contribution of every sector to the GDP of the country, we see that that same shift has not happened with respect to employment. So we see that more than half of the workers in the country are still working in the primary sector, which is in agriculture, right? And we see that it's only contributing 1/6. That means majority of the population is working in a sector that is only contributing 1/6 to the GDP, right? And whereas if you look at secondary and tertiary sector, the number of people that they're employing are relatively less, right? So what does this mean? Does this mean that they are not producing enough? No, that means that even though majority people are working in the agricultural sector, they are underemployed, right? So we know about underemployment, wherein we know that for period of time we see that, let's assume she is working, right? Let's assume we have the example of Lakshmi given here, who owns about 2 hectares of land. Yes, now we see that all 5 members are working in one plot. They have nowhere else to go. So what do we observe? Their labor effort is getting divided. And in this case, people are not getting fully utilized. So this kind of underemployment, wherein people, although there are people working on it, it's as good as they are unemployed. We call this as disguised unemployment, right? So you need to mention this. And you can talk about how in other sectors also this is possible, right? So wherein we see that sometimes in the case of your unorganized sectors like painters, plumbers and all of them, they may not find work every day. So here you need to mention about disguised employment or disguised unemployment. You will have to mention these terms, right? So first and foremost, what do we start off with? Why has there not been a substantial shift in employment from primary sector? Because one, there is not enough jobs also, right? One is, see, I would restructure this and write this as point number 1. Because in my existing primary sector, I see that there is underemployment, where more people are engaged in farming activities than what is necessary. Thereby, they are not fully utilized. Now, if at all, either they need to be fully utilized or else they need to move into other sectors. But in other sectors, what happens? There is not enough jobs, right? So over a period of time, we have not created adequate number of jobs in your industrial sector and in your tertiary sector. Which is why, although growth has been significant, employment job opportunities wise, we do not see this. And last but not the least, right, over a period of time, even though production in service sector rose by 14 times, employment only rose by 5 times, which is why still more than half the country is working in our primary sector. So are we all clear? You need to elaborate more on the underemployment part, right? So you need to write 1-2 points there. Then you will have to, this is 3 marks, so aram se 3 points so you will definitely get. Yes, what doubt do you have? Please tell me your name. I don't want to call you crack. I feel very bad. I always tell you all these random names that come, you tell me your name, right? Nikhil Bacha, all day you have been getting distracted. Board exam is going to come. Then later you will be crying, telling, I wish I paid attention in Ankita Ma'am or Ankita Ma'am and Ashwara Ma'am's class. Okay. Are we all clear? What doubt do you have? Jaldi say before I move into section D. How many are left? Section D mein 4 questions are there, but there are or questions which we have to discuss, and then section E, which is your case based, right? Yes, Rekha. Theek hai. Ma'am, how many questions? We have section D left, right? Section D and section E left. That's all. F to jaldi will happen. Okay. Shall we move on? Shall we move on? Okay. Ma'am, this is important. Oh my God, wait. Before that, everybody want to take a screenshot. This is as per your marking scheme only, but still, take a screenshot. I will move outside. Take a screenshot. Jaldi say, I've underlined the important pointers also. These are 3-mark questions. So go ahead, take a screenshot. Please write it down or highlight in your textbook. Yes. Okay. Shall we move on? I'll go on to the next one. Section D. Okay, section D is your 5-mark questions. But our questions will come from now. But these are easy. They're very easy, okay. First one is analyze the impact of mining activities on the local environment and the health of the surrounding communities. Now see, this is, if you look at your textbook, no, it's very easy. This is a little bit generic. This is a generic kind of question. Now always remember that in your generic questions you can write aram se, right? Now in this case, of course, when we talk about impact of mining activities, when people are doing mining activities, we know that there's a lot of dust, lot of fumes that get released, not flames, which makes them vulnerable to pulmonary diseases, right? Now at times in especially coal mines and everything, there are chances of fires, which is why that could be a constant threat as well. Their lives are in danger. Now this is at a personal level. Now at a broader environmental level, if you see, we see that there is a negative impact, right? There's a negative impact on the environment and a lot of waste gets generated. It can disrupt your local flora, fauna, it can contaminate water resources. There's massive removal, degradation of land that takes place, leading to soil erosion, loss of habitat, right? So as you see in this particular case, 5 marks, I've given you 5 points. You just need to write, yes? So these are important pointers. Collapsing roofs are also a very important pointer, right? So whenever you are writing this is very direct, right? This right here is very simple, very direct. So you just need to mention the important pointers that I am highlighting and ticking. So this way you will be able to know that this is what we look for, yes? You can write down, you can give an example, right? That example that you mentioned, you can give an example, but they've not asked you specifically, right? So if you have 5 points, aram se you can write, you will get 5 marks easily, right? Itna asan, it will come. I'm telling you, last year also your seniors were very worried that SST paper is going to be very hard. When we saw the paper and your seniors saw the paper, all of us were dancing because it was very direct and easy, right? Scoring question, aram se you will get 5 marks. Maithili, don't worry. See, this paper is not for you to think that, ma'am, if I can't solve this paper, I will not do well only in board exams, right? But Maithili, this is for you to know that, okay, if in case you are not feeling confident, identify the topics that you are not feeling confident about and we will work on it together. So don't worry, okay? Yes, you can write about that example as well, no problem. Now, this is a or question, right? This is a or question wherein you either need to answer that or this. Non-conventional resources are the best option to conserve the natural resources. Substantiate this statement with examples. How many of you think this is also very easy? This is also very easy, very direct, right? So aram se this, see, when you talk about essay conventional, non-conventional resources, we've been learning from 5th grade. And especially with respect to this is from the minerals chapter. Yes, this is from mineral wala chapter. Very simple. Aram se 5 points you can write. So understand that your section D will have or options. So it will not be that you'll be stuck with one question and you have to answer, right? So when you talk about your non-conventional sources, they refer to all the sources that are not normally used, like your coal and petroleum, right? So we know that they are respectively more environmental friendly unlike them and they don't cause a lot of pollution. Now normally we see that they are also renewable, which means that they will last for a long period of time, unlike your conventional sources, right? Your coal, petroleum and all will at one point, there are chances that we may run out of it or we may not have enough because they take a long period of time to generate or long period of time to be produced. As a result, we see that relatively these are renewable and we see that these can be made relatively less expensive also. So you can give some examples and you can write 5 points easily. Yes. Very good. Ma'am, we learned this in 5th standard also. I know, right? Aram se you will get 5 marks in this. So you can talk about how they are also known as renewable resources. They are inexhaustible and renewable. 1 mark for this. They minimize the environmental impact, right? So they minimize environmental impact. That means that they don't cause a lot of pollution. And over a period of time, we know that with respect to our conventional sources, the potential shortage have raised a lot of uncertainty whether we will have it in the future or no, which is why we see that having these renewable sources provides it's essential for us because they are not only going to be there for a longer period, but they also help us tackling problems like greenhouse effect, global warming, so on and so forth. So you can write some examples. 5 mark, aram se you will get, right? Okay. Now, Ankita ma'am, there's one more question in economics. How about I finish that and I give you the next two? Okay. So the next question number 31 is actually from history. But I will quickly move on and finish off my bit and I will hand it over to Ankita ma'am, right? So question number 34 is what we will solve next, right? So we will quickly move on to question number 33, sorry. So we'll move on to question number 33. We did 30, I think. So then we will move on to 33, okay? So that I'll finish off my bit and Ankita ma'am can do it at one go. Next up, this is question number 33. Now, I'll read the question and I know how many of you will say, ma'am, 5 marks in my pocket right now. A farmer has borrowed money from a money lender at a very high rate of interest. As he could not pay the interest, he was forced to borrow from another landlord and settle the amount for the interest borrowed to the money lender. State the consequence. Now, how many of you are doing an internal dance right now saying, ma'am, we know what to write. What is the key word here? Can you tell me? Very good, Subhash. Very good, Soumya. Yes, very good. I'm waiting for the other answers. Very good, Ashvi. Comfy studies. Very good, Aditya. I think comfy studies is Ishan, right? Very good, Neema. Sakshi, Neha. Yes. Well done, all of you. Well done. Array, debt trap. Not death trap. Debt. Different, right? Guys, spelling is very important, okay? Spelling is very, very important. It could mean something else also. So, here what do you need to elaborate on? Ayushman. Okay, I will remember. Okay. So, now we know it's all about debt trap. Now, here, if you remember, in our textbook, right, we had a case study given about Rama who was working in a neighboring field, right? So, this entire case study of Rama was what was asked indirectly in this question. So when there is debt trap, what happens? We know that especially a debt trap happens when they depend on informal sectors, right? So when they are dependent on informal sectors, then they enter into a debt trap. So we know that in informal sectors, the rate of interest is very high, no proper documentation, right? No proper set of rules. As a result, the borrowers are left ill-treated. Now in this case, what might happen? If they are in that debt trap, first and foremost, they may face a lot of heat from the person they borrowed. Whether it be the money lender or the trader or whoever they borrowed the money from, they will be very aggressive in getting that money back, right? So what may happen? They may express or experience some harassment. They may experience some, don't write physical harm, I'll not go for this, but they may experience some repercussions from the money lender, right? And because they are not able to repay, make those repayments, they may experience some stress, they may experience some anxiety. Now, as a result, right, we see that it creates a cycle of debt. Now, what you can also add is that at severe cases, they may end up losing their land, or you can write down how this may go on from generation after generation also, right? So we see that they may lose their property or they may lose their land, or they may be stuck in this for a long period of time. So here you need to write any 5 marks, right? So any 5 points you can write down and you will be able to get it, right? Okay. Oh, is it so? Okay, fine. But you still did not tell me your name, crack. I don't want to call you that anymore, so please tell me your name. Yes, good keyword with emphasis. Exactly. Okay. Yes, Sakshi, but you can write it in a little more simple language, right? So let's not be very direct, but it can cause harm to their life. No problem, Meeta. That means that we need to practice more and more. That's all. Thank you, Iman. Thank you so much for letting me know your name. Now, this is a and or question, right? This is for Aditya who was telling me, ma'am, I can't remember self-help group at all. You have a question on self-help groups. So I told you, self-help group will come in board exam. If you have come to my one shot, you know that this is something that I have preached. That please learn this and come. It will come pakka for sure in your sample paper. It is here, right? It came in your UTs also. Lappusa question. Then I'm very happy. I was telling Ankita ma'am, as a matter of fact, I told her, I said for economics and geography, these guys will be like so easy, we know everything, right? Ma'am, galat hai, kya hua? What happened? Self-help groups. Okay. See, what are self-help groups? They're saying that self-help groups eliminates poverty and empowers women. Substantiate with suitable answer. 5-mark question. NN. See, what are self-help groups? I gave you this example of imagine all your aunties in your neighborhood decided to make a group, right? And they decide that, okay, now, assuming, right? Not exactly that they don't have money or anything, but assuming that they all come together. So there'll be about 15 to 20 people. What they will do, their primary goal would be to save up money. So especially in rural areas, it's not very easy for people to take loans because they don't have collateral. There are many farmers who are landless, or there are many daily wage workers who are landless. So as a result, what will happen? They will end up depending on these informal sector. They'll ask the money lender, or they will go to some trader. So we want to avoid that. So that's why your self-help group comes into the picture, where they will start saving money. They will meet and they will save money, and occasionally they will give out loans also to their surrounding neighbors, right? But they will make it a point that they take back that loan also with proper interest rate and everything. So as a result, what happens? Because they have a proper system in place, these self-help groups can actually go to the bank and take the loan, right? So without the fact that there is no collateral, bank will still give a loan with a reasonable interest rate. Now, along with this, we see that the self-help group help the borrowers overcome the problem of not having a collateral. So this way, what happens? It empowers women to be financially reliant. It provides them to have a platform where they can discuss important matters, and it makes sure that it puts them on a leadership role, right? So you just need to write these any 5 pointers that we have discussed. So mainly the question revolves around how it makes women more self-reliant. So you'll have to write it in that angle, right? That's the only thing that you need to keep in mind, that the angle in which you write the answer should be dependent on the statement that they have given you. So how it helps the rural people to become more self-reliant, it enables them to, avail facilities from formal sources, and formal sources will not demand collateral, right? So it makes the rural women more economically independent as well, yes, and it improves healthcare, so on and so forth. So 3 main pointers: economic empowerment, skill development, and social empowerment. So are we clear? Yes? Are we all clear? This question was very easy, right? This is very easy, very direct. When you are writing the answer, please keep it in mind. We will do people as a resource also, don't worry, yes? Okay. See, in economics, yes, that is the case. But I'll tell you, you'll have 15 minutes of reading time for your exam, and utilize that 15-minute reading time properly, right? Understand, read it word by word. Don't be in a hurry to give the answer. I always tell you that. Yes? We will do all map work also. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to quickly hand it back to Ankita ma'am, right? So we'll go back to question number 31, and I'll hand it over to Ankita ma'am, where she will take the remaining 2 questions in section D.
Okay, everyone. So here we are. Hello, everyone. So I hope that you are there, and I'm sure all of you have high energy. I'm just reading your chat. भाई पढ़ाई कर लो, हाँ? 1-2 बच्चे क्लास में आके बस इधर-उधर की बातें करे जा रहे हैं. बाकी सब तो सही है. Yes, welcome back everyone. Thank you. पढ़ाई बहुत जरूरी है, I'm sure. हाँ भाई पढ़ाई कर लो. चलो everyone. Let's quickly look at the question number 31, and we have to analyze this question. And this is very, I would say, a very lovely question.
There's one question.
There's one more question here. Like, why the or is there on the top? It should be on this other side. Okay, everyone. Here we have the next question from the history, from the chapter Nationalism in Europe, right? So the question is, how would you evaluate Napoleon as the administrator who created more rational and efficient system? Then we have to write with the suitable example. See everyone, the question is very easy. 5 marks question hai bachcho. It's a very direct question, right? If you take a look over here, they're just asking us to tell what is a Napoleon Code. Basically, in short, in a simple language, if you have to write what the question is asking, they're asking about what was a Napoleon Code and whether was it good or not, right? Of course, we have to support the answer, right? Because we have that. We have that in the question, right? So how would we evaluate as the Napoleon, as the administrator? We have to support it. So we know that Napoleon came into the power. Yes, he first became the army chief, right? Army. He took the control of the army, and of course from there, he got into the power, and once he got into power, there were various things that he did, right? One of the important thing what he did was removed all the privileges from based upon the birth, right? The privileges that the people used to get at the time of birth, it was all removed, right? They were equality before the laws and secured the right to property. Very good. Then he simplified the administration division and abolished the primitive feudal system. Tax giving system was also removed, right? So peasants were very free about it. Guild restrictions were removed. Very good, everyone, you're writing over here. Then the transportation and communication system was improved. Along with that, he, in his power, right, and his rule, what he did, he standardized the weight and the measurement for the trade purposes, right, so that the exchange of the products becomes really very easy. Initially there was so many currencies. Now currencies were also standardized. Okay, so all of these points are very, very essential. Now the question was very different, right? If you look at the question was asking that how would you evaluate Napoleon as an administrator? So very simple thing, before we judge him or before we evaluate Napoleon as the administrator, what we need to write? We need to write about the codes. We'll be writing about the codes, right? The civil code. We'll mention the points over here. Clear? Then of course we are not going into the flag wala part. Why? Because we're talking about the administrator part. What he did for the administration. Yes, everyone, are we clear? We will not talk about what he did in the spirit of nationalism. Yes, but we are looking only for the administration part. So definitely he did good, right, over there. Okay, chaliye. Then of course we can mention a line that of course these were good changes that he brought into the society and was helping the people. Clear? So this is how you will be able to write the answer. Clear, everyone? You can take a screenshot of this, everyone. You can take a screenshot and just see that you have these following points. He basically simplified the administration. See, his intent was very clean, right? And very pure, that he want to make the system really very easy for the traders. Done, everyone? Are we clear? Yes. Okay. Moving to the next part, the or part of this question, everyone. The or part of this question. Analyze the decision taken by the conservatives at the Congress of Vienna in the year 1815. Again, a very direct question, I would say. Right? Again, a very, very direct question. We have to analyze the decision, the decisions which were taken by the conservative in the treaty, in the meet they have in the Vienna after the Battle of Waterloo, in which Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated. Very easy, right? We know that there are few steps that they took. So we'll write those steps only. Very straightforward question. So here, everyone, what are the things they did? After the defeat of the Napoleon, the old European people, right, the conservatives came back, and they were the people who wants to maintain the old tradition. Then what they did, they felt that the power should remain with the, with the kings, right? And the common people should not have much of the power. So then, of course, they created a treaty, right? They met together. They all met together in Vienna. We have Duke Metternich, yes, in the Austria. All of these nations. Can you quickly name the nations, everyone? Yes, I can see we have Britain, we have Russia, Prussia, and Austria. So all of these nations were fighting against Napoleon. They met in Vienna, and of course they came up with the treaty. Yes, and what was the treaty contains? So all of this information is already there in the previous classes also. It's just for us to see over here. Important thing, everyone take a screenshot. So what was the intention of the conservative? Conservative ne bola ki bhai, we will be taking it back all. Whatever the Napoleon did, right, to give the freedom to the people, they started putting the restrictions on those things. Important thing, Bourbon dynasty was restored. Of course, king rule was restored. The Bourbon dynasty rise was brought back into the system. French lost all of its territory which they have occupied in the period of Napoleon. Few states were, right, the boundaries were set up. Basically, the few states were set up as a boundary so that the French nation cannot grow back again, right? Clear? The Kingdom of the Netherlands, we saw that the division was happening, and of course, few of the part was given to different nations altogether. Some part was given to Persia, some part was given to Austria, and some to Russia. Clear, everyone? Yes. The German Confederation of 39 states was left untouched. So we have a concept already, basically a set of 39 states that were left untouched or undisturbed. Yes? It's a meow question. Nice, interesting. See, everyone remember these questions, right? This is a way to remember. Interesting. So then we can mention about all of these points, and that's the answer. See, I'm making it sound very easy because it is easy. I'll not be joking over here. This question is very straightforward, right? We just have the facts over here. Ha, ma'am, only section of print culture and history is left. Rashmi, yes, we will be doing the session on the making of the global world, but later. Because it's a very छोटा सा part and they already have a session over there, so you can watch it. चलिए, are we clear? Okay. Moving to the next question, everyone. From the Pol Science, we have two questions over here. Analyze the role of multi-party system in the democratic country like India. Easy peasy. Achha, now you only tell me what you feel. If we have a multi-party system, what do you think are the advantages? See, multi-party system is what are the advantages? Again, a direct question, everyone, and again, a very direct question. First important thing. People have more choices, right? People have more choices. People have more choices. Right? If we have multiple parties, definitely we have choices. Right? Now there's a pressure on the party to work. Right? They cannot just sit and look at here and there. They have to work. Achha, I was joking and I was telling ma'am that, we should not be the political parties. Do you think that we are the political parties? No, we will keep our promises, right? If we say something, we commit to that and we say. And we do it also. Now, of course, there are so many political parties and so many candidates that they are, right? They will just say, we will do this for you, we will do this. But sometimes they don't do it, right? And again, with the pride, they will come for asking for the votes. But we are not like that, right? We are not that individuals. And one should not be. So, of course, there's a pressure on the party to work, right? There is more competition, right? There's more competition. Clear? Anything else? Yes, absolutely. It actually helps to create the balance, and let's create a checkpoint for the political parties also. Yes, clear? So these are the basic things that we have. Now let's beautify them, right? And let's see how we can write in the examination. Here we have, everyone. First point, the competitive and the dynamic politic environment is there. The multiple party system actually allow the competitiveness to be there, right? We have various political parties, right? Where the political parties might have a different ideologies and agendas, but, right, they will be presenting their views in front of the people, and their ideas and the different policies will be targeted to different set of people. So that's a good thing. Then, the presence of multi-parties also provide a check and a balance against one party becoming a supreme power. Yes, so we know that there are times when if we just have one political party, will not be able to judge whether they are good or bad. Or probably if there's just one political party, they'll gain more and more popularity and strength, and probably they'll start dominating, which is also a very bad thing. Dolly ji, भैया आप ही spam कर रहे हो. मतलब ये तो गजब है. Spam करके भी ये बोलना कि हम spam नहीं कर रहे is an art. Is an art. चलिए, please don't break the flow. ऐसे मत हंसाओ बीच में. The next part is the system actually allows the variety of interest, right? When we have so much of it, definitely we enjoy the variety of interest, we have opinions, right? And of course, we will be able to see the more and more representation of the people, right? Because, for example, if I want a black color ice cream to be launched, probably I'll be voting for the candidate who is launching the black color ice cream. Yes? Right? Or probably Aishwarya ma'am will be voting for someone who is launching orange color ice cream. So simple. we have more interest depending on the needs of the people, right? As the candidate will be coming into the as we have more parties, more candidates, they will be focusing on different policies of the different people. Pani puri, ha. Okay, chaliye. The last one, through this system, different parties will represent different sections of society and the power will not be absorbed only into the one hand. Clear? So these are the important things, everyone. Are we clear with this question? Are we clear? Yes, yes, very good. It accommodates people diverse. Yes, absolutely, team 7. Visioning, almost 3 hours. Yeah, bache. Dolly, okay. Arey, abhi kahan? We will be finishing off and then we will rest, right? We still have some time. Okay, crazy. Yes, comfy. Chaliye. Moving to the next question, everyone. The last question, I would say, of the 5 mark section. Yes. Yes, it is. We have to evaluate the significance of the difference between the national and the regional parties, and we have to access the requirement of the regional parties to become a national parties. Easy question. Now what we are asking over here, we have to differentiate between a national party and a regional party. Simple thing. And then we have to tell 3 requirements. 3 requirements or the 3 important ways in which a regional party can become a national party. Easy peasy, right? So let's see, everyone. What is the difference between national and regional party? Simple thing. National party is the one which will be controlling the central part, right? Yes? This is a very, very important point. That's definitely they will have majority of the power. Whereas the regional party are for a certain region or a state, right? They will, for example, in a state, we have a regional party. They will be able to control only this particular state. They will be able to make the policies for this particular state. Whereas the national party will be controlling the whole country. The policies not controlling the whole country. Sorry, I would rephrase my sentence. But they'll be able to make the policies that will be favoring the whole nation. Clear? Yes. So that is the first part of the question. So here we have, everyone, you can take a look over here. National parties are powerful in the nation and deal with the national issues. National issues. Regional parties ka power is limited to a specific region or to the state. And only the issues of demands of a specific region can be discussed by the regional party, right? On the other side, national party actions often prefers to national issues over the regional problem. So definitely, if it comes in terms of any of the national issue or regional issue, the government, the judiciary, right, will be favoring the national issues more. So that's the first part of the question, where we have to differentiate between the national party and the regional party. The next set of the question, everyone. Bhadiya, bhadiya, very good. Very good. Yes, 4 seats in Lok Sabha, absolutely. Now we are moving to the next part, which says what are the 3 important requirements or the essential conditions for a regional party to become a national party. First important thing is that, as all of you are writing over here, the party must gain 6% of the total votes in Lok Sabha, or 4 states, 2 of the national party, and win at least 4 seats of the Lok Sabha. Easy, right? They must have at least 6% of the total votes in Lok Sabha assembly or the assembly, in the assembly election in any of the 4 states where we have the national party, and then they should have at least 4 Lok Sabha seats. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Bhai, movie ki baatein kaun kar raha hai? Hey, stay focused. We're just done with this paper now. Clear? A party has to receive at least 6% of total votes in the legislative election to become a regional party and win at least 2 seats. Example of the national parties are BJP, Congress, BSP, and example of the regional parties are DMK, Telugu Desam. Okay, so you can write these points. Bhadiya. So with this, everyone, we are done with this particular question and we are done with this particular section. So let's move ahead and we will be moving to the section E now. Section E, where we have the easy peasy questions, where we have the case-based study questions. So here the first question that I have is from the history. So I'll do this question and we'll give the questions to Ashwarya ma'am after this. So here, everyone, we have this paragraph. So do you want to take a break? Right, do you want to take a break? Just stand up at your place and pull your ears. That's a break we are giving. Don't think that we will give you 5 minutes break. It's not that. Everyone pull your ears like this. Right? Pull your ears. Ta-ra-ra-ra-ra. है ना, अभी थोड़ा सा ब्रेक चाहिए होगा. So pull your ears like this. Right? एकदम बच्चों के दिमाग से आंखें चमक गई. वाह, उम्मीद की एक किरण. Yes, comfy studies, please go and come back. Right, I'm giving you a 1 minute break. I'm not ending the session, but you stretch your neck, your arms, do a little bit of stretching. Right, you can actually hear that sound of cut. Right, rotate your neck. Okay, chaliye. So I'm giving you some time, everyone. Those of you are here on the screen watching this, read this paragraph. That's a break for all of us. It is said to be a passive resistance that it is a weapon of the weak, but the power which is the subject of this article can be used only by the strong. This power is not passive resistance. Indeed, it's a call of intense activity. The movement in South Africa was not passive but active. Satyagrah. So we know that, everyone. Now we're talking about Satyagrah. So it's from history, and we know that which chapter? Nationalism in India. So this particular paragraph is there in the book. Right? So what we have to do, we have to read this paragraph, and based upon the reading of this paragraph, we have to answer the question. So Satyagrah is not a physical force. Satyagrah does not implicit the pain, right? He does not seek his destruction. In the use of Satyagrah, there will be no ill will whatever. Satyagrah is pure soul force. Truth is the very substance of the soul. This is why this force is called as Satyagrah. The source is informed with the knowledge. In it burn the flames of love. Non-violence is the supreme dharma. It is certain that India cannot rival Britain or Europe in a form of arms. The Britain worship the war god, and they can, all of them become, as they are becoming, barons of arms. Clear, everyone? The hundreds of millions of millions in India can never carry arms. They have made the religion of non-violence their own. This is in his famous book of Hind Swaraj. This is what Mahatma Gandhi ji have said about the Satyagrah. So everyone, are we clear? Done, read, right? Yeah, it's a too long thing. It's very long. But yeah, we have to have some patience in reading it. The questions we have also here are 3 questions. 2 questions are for 1 marks and 1 question is for 2 marks. The first question is that why did Gandhi ji say that passive resistance is not a weapon of the weak? See, what is the meaning of passive resistance? Passive resistance. Passive means, what is the meaning of passive resistance over here? Right? Passive resistance means that we should show the resistance but without any violence, right? It's not for the weak, right? For example, Gandhiji used to say that, if someone is hitting you on your one cheek, give them the other. Of course, that comes with that. You don't feel that they are slapping you, right? You have to be in such a state that you feel that non-violence is the answer of any of the situation. Okay? So that's what he meant and intent over here. Satyagrah is a pure soul force. Of course, we can write it about it. We have this in over here, right? And then what was the last question? That what, according to Mahatma Gandhi, is the best weapon to use? It's the Satyagrah, right? It's the Satyagrah, everyone. Why, Jeff? Why we spam A? Come on. Why you want all of us to spam A? So here, everyone, we have. Let me just change the pen color. So Gandhiji said that passive resistance is not the weapon for the weak because it's called for the intense activity with lots of inner strength, right? Clear? It needs a lot of strength to not show the anger. See, I'm sure that all of you will agree. It's very easy for us to show anger. Yes, I'm sure you know that all of us can easily show the anger. But to resist the anger is something very, very difficult. And if we can control the anger, that means that we can actually fight within. And we have the inner strength. So that was the intent of that line that Gandhiji mentioned in his book. Second question was about Satyagrah is for the pure soul force. So over here, truth is the very substance of the soul and that is informed with the knowledge and thus force is called the Satyagraha. Easy peasy, straight answer. Yes? Yeah, absolutely correct everyone. And Mahatma Gandhi ji in his book of Hind Swaraj declared that the non-cooperation Satyagraha is the only way the Britishers can be collapsed in the country. Clear? So everyone, are we clear? Yes. Are we clear? Satyagraha. Yes. So everyone, we are done with the history part. Now I am calling Aishwarya ma'am. Leaving with a cute smiley and ma'am will be able to. Ma'am will be finishing this part.
Yeah, now I'm left with the last 2 bits.
And map work also, ma'am.
Map work you also have. Okay. So now I know many of you have been here for a very long time and very quickly, if you've made it till this bit of the video, trust me that you require a pat on your back, right? It means that you are edging one step closer towards acing your board exams. So very quickly, everybody, we will wind this up. So the next 2 questions in your case based are from geography and economics respectively. So we'll move on to question number 35. As you can see, it's a very huge story that is given to us, but many questions that have been asked is necessary, right? So I need you all to pay attention. Okay. Now I don't know what parallel conversation is happening in the live chat, but everybody focus. We have some information. Now I don't have time to go in detail, or I would rather be crisp, but you can pause this video and you can read it, right? So now, of course, in this particular case, what they've told us is about Maharashtra, wherein it has a population of 110 people. And over a period of time, it also has a significant agricultural sector also, right? So now what have they said? They said that although it's so big and extensive, they are experiencing a severe water crisis. Now remember, I told you water resources say case-based questions are very, very important. So over a period of time, there has been a lot of pressure on the water resources due to what? Due to climate change, industrialization and urbanization, right? Now, what are the main challenges that they have faced with respect to water resource management? They experience that people are exploiting groundwater, right? So they have been exploiting it with respect to for agriculture, where the level of groundwater has become less. Pollution of water surface. Pollution due to industrialization and urbanization and inefficient irrigation practices. So here we see that they use traditional practices such as flood irrigation that is not useful. Yeah, this is unseen because this right here is not something that you will directly find. So this is proper case and application that is given to you. Now based on this, the entire question is there in the passage that is given. Mention any 2 reasons for water crisis faced by the state of Maharashtra. Very simple. They have already mentioned what is the reason for, what is the reason for water crisis. This is not directly from NCRT because I could not find it. It's not directly from NCRT. It is not easy. All the answer is given in the question only. What is the reason for? Very good. Industrialization, urbanization, right? So here if you look at it, what are the 2 major reasons for which water crisis was faced? Overexploitation due to what? You can talk about how it has overexploitation, urbanization, all of that you can mention here, right? So this you will get 1 mark for this. Despite being the second highest rainfall receiving state, the country, ignore this too, of the country, Maharashtra still faces water crisis. So what is the reason? Even though they are receiving all of this, it experiences, or we see that they are facing water crisis. What is the reason? There has been pollution of water, right? So even though they are receiving a lot of this, there is pollution of water. And of course, we see that there are inefficient, inefficient agricultural practices. We see that the state is one of the largest users of water in the agricultural sector. And we see that almost 80%, they account for 80% of the water use. And they use traditional techniques, which is inefficient and leads to wastage of water. So you need to mention about how, although they are receiving it, what causes water crisis, right? See, you are telling uneven distribution and all of that, I get it. But isn't this question is with respect to this case, Remember that part, right? Remember that part wherein they are talking about this particular case, right? There are two things. One is in general why we face water crisis. But here it is with respect to what is given. Main challenges faced by water resource management. You will have to write it now. Are you all clear? For those of you who are getting lost in other options, remember that in case based it is with respect to the case that is given, right? Rich poor case is different, right? Rich poor case is again with respect to your resource management. Don't get confused. Resource management में rich poor का differentiation comes. Last but not the least, any one solution where they can mitigate it. Mitigation can be done by using, if they are using traditional irrigation practice, then they should switch towards more modern uses like drip irrigation, or they need to use maybe rainwater harvesting system, considering that they receive a lot of rainfall. So you need to write it in this manner. Harvesting system, yes. Subhash, see, that is a tricky part, right? Because here they have asked you everything with respect to the case given to you. So if it is given with respect to the case, answer it with respect to the case, because none of these questions are generic, right? They are not saying what are the reasons for water scarcity. They have not given it as a generic question. They are asking what is the issue in Maharashtra that they faced, or what is the reason why there is a water crisis. So aren't they asking you with respect to the case given? So when they are being highly specific in that manner, you answer specifically. But imagine if they asked it generally. What are the disadvantages of multi-purpose river systems, or river valley projects, or what are the reasons for qualitative degradation? So that is generic, right? They are not asking with respect to your Maharashtra state as given in the case. So everybody remember this point. Now next case may, when you see, you will realize the difference, that in some cases it is simple, right? Ma'am, this is a truth paragraph or they made it up? CBSE has given it for the sake of question answer. Let's not go into the details of all of that, right? But yes, see, countries or states are facing water crisis, and when they did, it's important that you will have to understand the consequence, right? Substantiate means justify the statement, right? So here you can mention all these pointers, right? Water crisis, overexploitation and pollution due to industrialization, urbanization. Why has there been water crisis? Traditional methods are being used, really resulting in water shortage. Along with that, quality of water is not that great. You can mention those points. 2 points you need to write. How can you mitigate it? Use efficient irrigation practice like drip irrigation, or use rainwater harvesting systems. Easy peasy. 1 mark here. 2 marks, I'm just writing pollution of water, or you can write decreasing quality. So 2 marks and 1 mark here. Yes. In this particular case, Iman, you have to answer with respect to the case. Now this is one more huge paragraph. Okay. Now this particular paragraph is important. Now I know you may not have time to read it right now, so you can pause the video and read it. I know it's very huge. Even when I saw, I was like, so huge. But this is exactly from NCRT. This is from your NCRT chapter. This is from your development wala chapter. All of you love development because it's so easy, right? So, good one, Ashvi. Okay. See, they are talking about basically I'll give you summary, okay? Read fast, but I'll summarize. They're asking about per capita income. They're talking about how, based on average income, the World Bank, right? Based on the World Bank report, countries are classified as high income countries, middle income countries, and low income countries, okay? These are 2 things that they have asked. So based on this, you need to answer. Explain the significance of per capita income. You have 2 marks for this. And what are the classification of countries based on per capita income? And what is the entity, or how are you determining this classification, right? So this is very, very easy. It's easy. This is very direct. Now, if you think about it, in this particular case, you can answer with respect to chapter. And don't worry, the details of the answer is already here, right? Now, if you think about it, the answer is again there in the particular question, right? Now, with respect to your per capita income, what are you able to understand? We see that it helps us to get an idea of the relative economic performance, right? It gives you an idea of where countries stand with respect to their average income. Now, based on that, we will also get an idea of standard of living. Exactly. So you have to write 2 points. Gives us an idea of how the country is with respect to other nations, along with that the standard of living. Now, based on the World Bank report, right? The World Bank determines based on this average income, they generate a report, right? And based on that, we have high income countries, you have middle income, and you have lower income or poor income countries, right? So the values that we have mentioned here is something that is given in the paragraph, and you can do it. So you need to write 2 things here. The classification score, you will get 1 mark, right? And for who determines this and what is the basis, you will get 1 mark. Yes? Economic development and also an indicator of HDI. Yes, you can do that. That is also a pointer you can write. But 2 points you have to mention, right? Because it's for 2 marks each. So this bifurcation is 1 mark. What is the basis is 1 mark. Now this was very simple. Wasn't this very direct? This is very direct, okay? These are direct questions in case-based. Now remember, from this analysis so far that we have done, you realize that even though you have competency questions, isn't your section D and E very scoring? So your 5-mark questions and 4-mark questions which hold the maximum weightage, right? They are easily scoring for you. Which means that when you are writing your examination, which starts from your pre-board, I will give you a simple technique, okay? And the technique that most of us will recommend when you have your paper. Let's assume that, I forgot the question number 36, right? So imagine you have read up until question number 36. And you have realized that I can easily write answers for section D and E. Start with your longer answers. Start with the ones that you feel most confident about, right? Start with what you feel most confident and then you go down. Need not be from section D, but in case if you feel like, ma'am, MCQs may I know this, maybe 80% I am sure, then section D may I am sure, then E may I am sure. Do the ones which are going to be stronger. Uske baad you take the ones which need you to think a little bit. So that time wise also you are able to manage, right? For SST, time is very, very important. More important thing, if you are doing this approach, write the question numbers properly, okay? Don't just do some random thing and forget to write question number 24. Question numbers need to be mentioned. Section numbers also need to be mentioned. However you write it, yes? Okay. Yeah, eat, no problem. No problem. Last section, section number F, which is your map work. 5 marks you will get. Now, how will this happen? Now, here it is going to be a 2 plus 3. That means 2 marks from history and 3 marks will come from geography, right? Now, here if you see, they have given you 4, out of which you need to label any 3, okay? You need to label any 3 out of the 4, yes? Now, of course, I am directly going to the solution one. They are talking about a coal mine built in Tamil Nadu, right? So, coal mine here is, of course, Neyveli, that is there. Then, of course, dam built in Chenab River, right? That is your Salal Dam. Then you have largest major seaport, right? Major seaport located in Andhra Pradesh. That means in this particular case, we're talking about Visakhapatnam. And last but not the least, we have Noida Software Park, which is, you have to just mark Noida in the one, right? Very easy. Now we have the history bit for which I will quickly call Ankita ma'am. So ma'am, I request you to come to do the history part.
Last part.
Yes, everyone. So here we are at the last part. So again, yeah, the very valid question that you're asking, that where they're asking. So see, if you look over here, right, they have mentioned the Calcutta one. Can you see over here? They're looking for the National Congress that held in the year 1920. The important thing that we have over here is the biggest hint that it happened in the Calcutta. See, they have marked it over here in the question. They have given this particular part. They have mentioned A. Yes? Aditya, see over here, they have located it, right? They have actually located in the outline map of the India. So here we have, right? That is Calcutta. And of course, the other part was that a place where Mahatma Gandhi ji broke the salt law. Easy peasy, that is Dandi. It's there in Gujarat. So over here we have the answer. Yes, everyone, are we clear? So with this, actually, we are done. Easy peasy, right? Everyone, those of you who haven't seen history ka map work, we have a short on the channel, right? We have the short on the channel. Please go through that short because in that particular short, we have discussed all the map work of history for both the chapters, nationalism in India and nationalism. Basically, the nationalism in India only we have the map work. So yeah, we have discussed it over there. Okay, everyone.
Ma'am,
So
I think for history they've asked only for identification.
how? But now they have asked for identification, and usually for the history, right, they will be focusing more on, they will be telling you, you mark this place. They can ask you to mark the place. For example, they will tell you where the National Congress happened, session happened in the year 1920. So now you know where it happened. They'll mention the month also, so you know where you have to mark. Okay, ma'am, please come.
Okay, so with this everyone, we are done, right? Now, I know at this current point of time when we are doing the sample paper analysis, either school may, some of your, maybe portions are running or from our end, some portions may not be currently updated. That does not mean that we shouldn't do the sample paper. One thing that you identify from the sample paper is that now the goal is not a first pre-board or second pre-board.
Yeah.
Now the goal is clear. Goal is board exam, right? Pre-board and everything are just going to be milestones for evaluation, which means that now, ma'am, we're going to get very serious with their preparation, right?
And we you know that we will be very serious with the preparation.
So this is the official sample paper, but practice papers where you are asking us for set 1 and 2, they are different, right? That is different, which is going to be something that we will do from December onwards, right? So we will, see, we did the sample paper now. We'll take a little bit of time to complete off your syllabus, do your revision, do some important BYJU'S. Then we will do the practice paper. So you will get more confidence when you solve the practice paper next. Otherwise, you'll see the practice paper and they will have more complicated questions and we will wave white flag and say, ma'am, I don't think we're going to do well in the exam, right? So that is why it is going to be very, very important.
Yes. Want to address 2 questions over here. We don't have any questions from gender, caste and religion. Yes, we don't have it in a sample paper. Practice paper we have, so that's a good sign. Apart from that, age of industrialization will not be there. Team 7 Kai Bache, we will not have that particular chapter in the board examination. Right, we will not have any of the, be it the theory or the map work, will not have it in our board examination. It is just purely based, this chapter will be evaluated only in the internal examination. So probably, I'm sure you would have seen questions in your unit test examination, or probably you will see the question in the pre-boards also, but not in the final board examination.
Yes. So everybody, we will be sharing this telegram, not sharing the telegram, but the PDF of the solutions that we have made, which has the in-depth analysis with the concept, NCRT corner. We will share it with all of you on Telegram. So if you want to join our Telegram channel, link is there in the description. Now, most importantly, if you found this particular video helpful, do not forget to let us know in the comments of this video. And maybe what kind of practice that you would like to, what you would like to
do more in the future.
Yeah.
You can let us know. And most importantly, everyone, there's a very important thing that we keep on telling because sometimes we don't, sometimes we miss it out. Is that on our BYJU'S app, we have amazing videos. Along with that, we have practice questions also. So please take a moment. Now only, and we have a link of the download of the app. Go there, click on the app and see, explore the app.
Yeah.
I know that next time probably we'll have something so that, you will remember it. But it's such an easy thing. It will have all the information over there, so please do try it out.
Yes. So with this, everybody, we will be signing off tomorrow, 8 p.m. Ankita ma'am is going to be taking print culture. Yes. Next week onwards, we will be kick-starting prep for geography and economics as well. So do not forget. See you all soon. And up until then, students, take care.
Yes, take care, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye. And keep on learning with BYJU'S.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.